Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Silent Podcast, place where everything but silent. Host Isaiah, and we're back to talk Big Brother 26. We had a chaotic night last night, so there should be a lot of fun to talk about. But I'm here with the panel, per usual. I'm here with Katie. Katie, what's going on?
Not much. Love our new intro. Shout out to Tim.
Shout out to my guy Tim, making mad intros for mad podcasts over here. So you should be seeing them.
We got a facelift.
We got a facelift. We're also back with Josie. Josie, what's going on?
Dude, I feel like this last week was written by me, produced by me, edited by me, except for a miss of a fight. But honestly, I enjoyed it. I'm Team Chaos, Team Fun Feeds, and the week delivered that. So I'm happy.
All right, and then we got Janelle.
Yeah, it's been wild. I have so much to say about so many of these people and the choices that they're making and not making, and on and on and on. So I'm excited.
All right. Per usual, if you want to support us, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And if you're listening to this on the audio, 5-star rating. We love to see it. Also, merch is on the way. So make sure you look out for that on the podcast. Merch is coming. Shirts, hats, all that fun stuff. So make sure you keep a lookout. But all right, let's talk about Big Brother. I was not here with you guys last week. You guys did like a 3-hour podcast, very fun listen, and since then we've had a whole lot of advances, a whole lot of fights, a whole lot of nonsense, and it's been wild, guys. So Josie, just when you were coming on here, you were like, I just saw the update of what's been going on. How do you feel about last night's episode? Any advances after the episode? How are you feeling all together with this season?
I feel like last night was such a good moment. I just feel like, you have one side of people who are rooting for Tucker, and then him winning the BBAI arena was crazy television. I enjoyed it. People are kind of speculating it's like a Helen was pushed, but saying that he had more red balls than others. Quite frankly, I didn't care. It was for the story, it was for the plot, and I frankly enjoyed it. And then having Quinn up there, I voted for Quinn. Yes, I used my voice to vote, and I voted for Quinn. And the American people, just like myself, aligned for once and put his ass on the block. So I was thoroughly enjoyed, but I wanted Quinn to stay because I can't stand Kenny. I think Kenny had no right to come into the house. He should have stepped off the plane and turned his ass right around and go back up in that plane. It is so selfish that he played this game knowing that he wanted to quit and he hadn't even stepped foot in the house. And so I'm glad he's gone. Now Quinn is definitely going to use his power, and it's going to be another chaotic week. So all in all, I'm here for it. Not here for people volunteering to go on the block, but alas, I feel like that's the trend this season. Very strange, very weird, but it's making good TV, I guess.
Katie, I wondered, has any advances gone with your relationship for Kenny as a Big Brother player? Did he grow on you or no?
Listen, I actually really wanted Quinn to leave. I know it's not a popular opinion. I would have been okay with, I voted Quinn up and I wanted him to go. I have PTSD from last year, Jag having a secret HOH and then winning the next HOH, which could happen again here with Quinn using the power and then winning again. And these people knew Quinn had the power. He was ripe for them to get out of the house, and only person who voted for them voted for him was Tucker. Make it make sense. I don't really understand. They were talking on the feeds about potentially voting out Tucker in hopes that Kenny would quit. Just vote out Quinn and hope that Kenny would quit. And then you get the power out and Kenny quits and you're good. Like, I don't understand why we didn't just go that route. I think this doesn't mean I like Kenny. This doesn't mean I think he's a good player. I mean, he's a flip-flopper of wanting to leave. He gave us a good edit though. They dragged him in the episode, which was very funny. And, I think if he did stay and he did win, he at least would have switched things up a little bit, because I'm tired. I'm bored. The only thing saving us is Angela winning HOH this week. Spoiler alert. But otherwise she would have been right up on the block again, and she's going to be up on the block again next week. It's tired. Move it along. At least Kenny would have given us something different. So I'm glad he's gone though.
3 women on the block. That's what Kenny would have given us.
Yes, that is what he would have given us. But one of them wouldn't have been Angela. So at least it would have been something different.
Let me add to something Katie said when she talked about Quinn potentially winning HOH next week. I read somewhere along the way that Angela is not eligible to compete. How is that fair?
I mean, I think it makes
Quinn can compete. Why can't she?
realistically, no one should have known that Quinn had the so it makes sense. And like she won. So in a normal week, if like it was a secret and they were using a deep fake of Angela to be the HOH, like it does, I don't like it, but it does make sense that she wouldn't have been able to compete. It's just that these people have to stop spilling to people. Like they should penalize Quinn for outing that he has power not to play next week, is my opinion. And let Angela play.
Here's my thing. I feel like we saw this last year with the Invisible HOH, right? And it was like Jag can compete back-to-back weeks, even though everyone knows that his invisible HOH isn't so invisible.
Mhm.
I feel like the rules, if you're going to do something with this, should be like, all right, if you tell anyone about this, or if this becomes public knowledge, you know what I'm saying? This should not be, you should not be able to have the benefits of this power. You should not be able to go next week and compete for an HOH again and all that fun stuff. I think it's a little ridiculous, kind of OP, if you ask me. We're definitely getting into it. Let me look in the chat a little bit. Tracy, shout out Tracy. She said F Kenny, but the right move would have been to get rid of Quinn for sure. I fully agree with that. We're gonna rank all these players again like we usually do on Friday. So I can't wait to get to Quinn for all that. Let's see what else.
You guys don't see the what is his alliance? The Pentagon. I can't remember which one is the main one of them, but you guys don't see why they might want to keep Quinn for safety and knowing that he's going to be the HOH and then they are all safe. I think
for them it makes sense. For everybody else, get this kid out. Get him out.
Moses says the twist in Jag being able to win consecutive HOH is a joke. Fully agree, for sure. Shout out Reese Bias, smash that like button. We appreciate everything a little bit. That's a shout out Dave.
I mean, I to the point about the Quinn potentially being HOH 2 weeks in a row, they should have implied. First of all, the deepfake HOH is too much power. Like it's
way too much.
Yeah.
Because had it been a secret, which he flopped on, the best thing he could have done is the misinformation twist. That would have been insane. I would have loved to see how that would have came in the game, but he kind of spoiled it for everyone. So there's no way it's going to work. Like he's pretty much walking around like it's his HOH. Understandably so at this point. They should have done what they do with Big Brother Canada when we had Victoria be the invisible HOH, is that she had to throw the competition the next week. Right. That should have been in place because at this point it feels like this power is too powerful already. And then you add the fact that he could be safe 2 weeks in a row. It's a little too much.
They in Big Brother 23, I don't remember the power that Claire had, but they made her throw the HOH so she couldn't. I guess what did she do? Replace bombs? They made her throw the HOH so she couldn't compete again the next week. Right. Like, why did they change that? That's what I don't get. And I agree with you, Isaiah. Like, I would even go further and say, like, if we're going to introduce the most powerful twist in the history of Big Brother, if you spill, you're going on the block next week. Like you're getting a penalty nom. Like that's it. You're ruining the twist that they put out there. That could have been, Josie, I agree with you. Like a deep fake Angela going, like we had the most potential for chaos with Angela as the HOH and having a deep fake of her and having her freak out, not knowing who's doing it. And it got ripped from us. And now he's like making jokes that he's just going to like spread information about like Joseph's mustache. Like that's not even fun. It's not funny. It's just not funny. It's lame.
Yeah, it's such a letdown once we see that it could have been this week.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? It would have been so epic. Angela would have lost
it
the entire week. Quinn could have spun it. It's such a lost opportunity. I'm really, really disappointed that it didn't work out.
It's another case of production shooting themselves in the foot. But without further ado, before we continue on with like more breakdowns, I say we just pull up our tier list real quick. I do want to show some love because we don't get a lot of love from people. I love showing love when people show us. So real quick, shout out my dog Tim again. Tim, he made the intro.
Shout out to
work
Tim.
with Tim.
Love you, Tim.
Great graphics and all that stuff. Also shout out to Reese Bias Radio. Shout out to who are going to be there. We show love and y'all show love to us. But anyway,
and shout out to Javier, our guy Javier in the chat.
Shout out to my
dog.
Javier.
Here with us last week.
Okay. All right, we got a tier list to get to, y'all. So
we do.
How do we want to do this? So do we want to work our way from the bottom to the top, or do we want to work our way from the top to the bottom? Like how do we want to adjust this?
I think we should do bottom from the top because
I think so too.
Okay.
Bah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's start off with the most recent evictee, Kenny.
Bye.
Not much to
Bye.
say there. You know,
No, we said
I
it.
was a Kenny fan. You know, I'm not gonna lie.
Kenny
I was a Kenny fan.
Stan.
I was a Kenny Stan. I thought he was funny. You know what I'm saying? But the moment he left, I was officially like, bro, like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. One of the worst showings in a long time. But I thought he was hilarious because, like, how is production letting this guy stay around after saying he wants to leave? Hilarious to me. But Kenny's out
I
of
don't
here.
know if it's true that production stepped in and said something to Kenny. Like, I don't know if that was a rumor.
I heard that too.
Like they said, like, if you threaten to quit or something, like, you're leaving and you're not getting your stipend. I don't know if that's entirely true, but I'm glad the edit was funny. Like, the thumbs up and thumbs down.
That was so funny.
Like, this is the type of camp that I like from Big Brother. I think I'm starting to slowly, like, be okay with the campiness of the show. Like, or unless it's like the edit is less cringy, in my opinion, I don't really know, but like, I'm slowly okay with like what's going on. Like, I don't roll my eyes anymore as much as last season or 2 seasons ago.
What kills me the most about the episodes is the sound effects. It's like somebody like fell off something and it was like a bowling pin, like the bowling pins crashing. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. But I mean, you know, that's what makes the show, I guess.
Classic, baby.
Classic.
All right, so let's start with our F tier, aka Dead in the Water. Angela. Has Angela made any advances out of the F tier, guys? Has Angela raised? Look, spoiler warning. We're talking about everything. So if you don't want to be spoiled of what hasn't happened off the show, click off now. 3, 2, 1. Angela is HOH. She's won her HOH this week. She was vetoed off of the block last week. You know, she's still getting in fights with people, still doing Angela things. But is she still in a worse position that she was in last week? Or has she improved? What do you guys think?
I think she improved. I would actually move her out. I mean, she's safe. She won a comp. I don't know if we know the full details of the comp, but it was a knockout comp, and she went up like 5 times, and she smoked it. So like, good for her. I mean, she earned this win. It wasn't a crapshoot like the first one. She's the first repeat HOH. That's pretty impressive. She's, you know, I don't know if I said it on the podcast or if I tweeted it or what, but you know, she's giving Taylor Hale a little bit. Taylor Hale missed. Her victims are all gone. She's HOH again. You never know. I mean, she was supposed to be out week 1. Who knows? Maybe we'll have second coming of the queen. But you know, I think she's worked her way out of things. I'm mostly joking, you guys, by the way. Mostly joking. But you know, I think the problem is these people are obsessed and they're scared to play. So until like Kenny's gone, so that helps. But with Angela still in the house, I just feel like she's always going to be the default nominee. But someone's got to eventually shake things up. I think Tucker being just totally unhinged this week helped. I would put her in D. I don't know what you guys think.
I think that she's still dead in the water. I think she's not winning. Like, I don't think there's anything that she's going to be able to do to win. I would be shocked. I agree that she's going to be a repeat nominee, but it is nice to see that even if it's not necessarily her own doing with like Tucker saving her, that was all him. She is gaining some allies. Tucker's willing to work with her. Seemingly, I don't know if she was legit or not. MJ is seemingly willing to work with her. Tucker and them are building an alliance. So she is getting some traction, but I still think she's going to lose.
Listen, I'm with Janelle too. I'm with Janelle. I'm not going to lie. I don't see much improvement from Angela. She's still crashing out, fighting with people, doing Angela things, spewing whatever she can. She's not really in any alliances. But the thing with Angela is, if last week for me she was like a bottom F, this week she would be like a higher F. Like, she's not moving up yet because she still has like a lot of work to do. She's improved for sure. But I don't think she's improved enough to like move up to a tier or not.
She's HOH.
Okay, she's HOH. I still think no matter what happens, even if she had control this week, there's no shot in hell that Angela isn't going to be the block star of the season, especially with Kenny being gone. I just see her getting nominated time and time again, especially with there being 3 nominees. I have a hard time seeing her escape that picture, and she could have easily been gone last week. She could easily be gone the weeks later. You know, like, Janelle said something really good. Win equity. I know it's very early, I just don't see it yet. I don't see
Yeah.
her having any kind of respect. I don't see many people caring much about her. Tucker did what he did, but it wasn't for Angela. It was for a very specific reason, you know.
Right.
So I'm not all for being out of F yet, but like, look, she's making baby steps to get out of there to a low D, you know. So we'll see, but
Yeah.
my vote is to keep it in F.
I need Javier to hop on this podcast so I have someone
Wait,
on my side because
Wait,
yes,
let me
you go,
see.
Josie, because I want to argue.
Come
So you
on,
go.
Josie.
Katie, I'm putting my Angela lawyer hat on.
Yes,
Court
yes.
is in session. Let me advocate for her
Yes.
just a little bit. Despite her white women tears, Angela has done leaps and bounds better than the last 2 weeks. Let me tell you that, okay? First of all, the fact that she is safe for another week, let's clap hands. Let's clap hands. Yes, she is safe, which is great. First of all, I think Angela's win equity is rough. You know, I do think it's rough. However, what I will say is that this week turned around in the sense that she got her credibility back, which is huge in this game. I think it was lost because of the chaos of week 1. It was a horrible HOH week. And because of that, no one wanted to align themselves with her. No one wanted to believe anything she said. She could have said the sun is out and no one would have believed her. Like, that's how bad her credibility was. However, once the power was revealed and Tucker voiced and said quotes along the lines of, Angela was right all along, around groups of different people. I think I heard him mention that with Joseph. I think I heard him mention it with Cam. You know, people are starting to look at Angela like, oh my God, she ain't never lie. And what's great is that we now know that Chemo is responsible for revealing the truth about his power. So Angela gets to go around and say, well, I knew about his power and I didn't say anything, which shows loyalty. So despite her being chaotic and a mess and her win equity being -5, like I'm talking bad credit score, like she not getting a loan from the bank. Despite that, so far she's taking the baby steps out of that. And I'm actually very happy for her. And I'm just hoping that because she's just safe this week and it's not really her reign, people don't make that a bigger target on her back. And also, I think the sides are clearly happening in the house. Angela can perfectly fall in the middle. All she needs to do is to not argue with nobody. Is that possible? I don't know.
She's
Maybe
calmed down. She's calmed down.
Maybe the day pigs will fly, Angela will not fight with someone during a week, but never say never. Okay. So I think she has a chance. I don't think she's dead in the water, but I don't think she's like up in the best for sure.
You think she can win, Josie?
No, I said I'm not thinking like I think her win equity has risen up. But to be fair though, like
Anybody
I
could win.
Angela having a crazy final 2 speech. Like she wants to win so badly. She loves this show so much. And we've seen Block Stars make it far enough. Like, and they just keep going and going and going. Like if we think about last season of BB Cam, what was his name? Todd was on the block, like no one's business.
Yeah.
Like, and he made it to like final 5, 4. I can't remember right now. It's a little blurry.
4.
But he was up there. We've seen Block Stars make it that far. And I think people are not that threatened by her, despite the fact that she has now 2 HOH wins. So I don't want to count her out, but I'm not saying that her chances are bet. It's like, again, building credit. It was down in the dumps and she's making her credit card payments and she's slowly but surely going to move up. That's how I think.
Josie, I agree. And the one thing I've been saying thank you for speaking the sense on Angela, because the one thing I've been saying since literally week 2 is that Angela is a number. And now that these sides are forming and it's Tucker versus Quinn and nobody's trusting each other and everybody's throwing each other under the bus, Angela is a number that needs to be picked up as a vote, especially as we don't know what the twist is that's going to be announced next week. Julie said that, on this random Tuesday episode that there's going to be the next twist announced. AI Arena is probably going to stop soon. You need all the votes that you can get, especially, as we get deeper into the game. Someone's going to pick up Angela, whether it's Tucker, whoever it is. And she could sit and fade into the background and float on to the end. And nothing is impossible. Nothing's impossible.
I mean, look, if you guys want to make her the lowest of D's ever,
I do
sure.
want to make her the lowest of these ever.
I just feel like her and Kenny share the same trajectory. If they make it past the first few
No,
weeks,
no.
they're
Kenny
going
wanted
be
to
block
quit.
stars.
Quit.
I don't
She wants to be
care.
here. She's the only one
Position-wise-
fighting to be here.
Position wise, they were both just going to be dead weight just to take a spot on that block until it's their turn. And I really
Moving her
don't.
up.
I just don't see her yet. But if you guys really want to do it, sure. But when she gets dropped back to F next week, we're going
That's
to be
fine.
sitting here talking about like, look, you know what I'm saying? I don't see it, but maybe you guys are seeing something I don't. I don't see the win in Angela's future, but I enjoy her as a character. I just don't see it yet.
Okay,
I wanna
here's
say-
to be fair. Okay, go ahead, Janelle.
Sorry, I want to say that I definitely understand you guys' perspective about her being able to ride the middle. That's if she can do it. Like, that's completely possible. I think MJ's in a position to do that as well, but I don't know if she can do it. Like, she just seems to get, when things go astray or awry or she doesn't like what they say, I could just see her popping off. It's totally possible if Angela can keep her emotions in check. If she can hold on to it and do it like the week Lisa left, all she had to do was be quiet. She ended up staying not of her own doing because she was.
Thank God she
fighting
didn't
Angela.
stay quiet though.
You gotta remember,
Yeah,
she
it's
stayed
true.
last week only because she didn't even know she was staying last week up until
Right.
Tucker did what he did. You know, so it's like she doesn't really have much control over what's going to happen with her game anytime soon. Even the week that she really needed an HOH was this week, and she still has no control. You know, so it's like, what are you gonna do? But
But she
right,
did
cool.
it. But
I
she
think-
did it, and she got there.
I think the one thing I want to add is that Angela, people greatly benefited by putting Angela on the block because there was no house division. That was something I've been saying, is that once the house divides, that's when the game actually starts. And I think Tucker really was a big part of this house shift, this house divide. And because of it, no one really benefits from targeting Angela. Like, maybe someone who's in the middle, like a Takor, or maybe like a chemo, maybe.
I'm just saying, if someone puts Angela up with one of the people in the big alliance, she
But-
out of here.
Well, all it
You know
takes
what
is
I'm
them
saying?
to like actually. I agree with you, Josie. They're have to start playing the game soon, and I feel like the game really started last week because Tucker put it in like hyper speed. So thankfully now people are against each other. They want to get other people out. Eventually, Angela's just not even going to be an option at this point because they're going to need a vote to get someone else out. Like it doesn't serve any purpose to continue to put Angela up on the block at this point. We're in week 4.
All right.
We got to get it moving.
Nobody
I-
who would want to win the HOH, or it's essential for them to get HOH, would go after Angela. They might put her up as a pawn for sure. I'm not saying that she's not touching the block, but like to your point about the big alliance, like I don't know, there hasn't been a big alliance yet. Like if we're being really frank, like these people, like despite the votes being like maybe all of a majority, that's not really the case in terms of the house. It's not based off alliances. It's because people don't want to go against the house, not against a big alliance. So like again, like
Okay.
I see y'all's point for sure.
All right, we spent a whole lot of time on who's probably going to be the bottom of this entire
The
list.
star of the
We're going
show.
to be here for a minute, so we need to keep moving. But
The entertainment, I fear, actually
the star of the show.
I agree. I agree with y'all. But let's move on to Leah. Leah, doing a lot of yapping and not enough game talk. You know, like there's a lot of Leah going on, but it's not really game related. It's a whole lot of Love Island going on here. How are we feeling about Leah's position in the game?
She's the ultimate pick me.
Yes.
She's calling other people pick me. She's the ultimate pick me.
Yeah,
Is that it? Is that all we got to say about Leah? Pick me.
Got nothing else to say.
for me. She's doing absolutely nothing. I don't know who she's really truly aligned with. She's completely, and I don't even know why, completely dropped MJ game wise. I hardly ever see them talk. That was one of her strongest allies, and I'm not sure why she would willingly let go one of the only people that was in her corner. It seems maybe mutual. I don't know, but I don't know what Leah's doing, what her plan is. She is spoken about by other people as a potential to bring in. Quinn is still mesmerized and dumb in regards to her. But like, to me, her best attribute is she can cook and people like her food. Like, I don't.
Didn't she give people food poisoning the other night?
Oh,
everybody was sick after they ate her food.
I missed that part. But I don't know what she's giving game wise. She doesn't do anything. Like her game talks are weird. When she's sitting and talking with people one on one, to me it's so awkward. She remains
Leah got y'all in a chokehold. Listen,
No.
Leah ain't going nowhere no time soon. I think this is one of the few people who is unfortunately going to get jury without having to do anything. This is an Annalise pick.
She's indie.
She's indie. She's Annalise. She's all that. She's going to make jury. All she needs to be doing is she needs to be brought into something and go on the comp spree. I don't listen. Let's be real. There's not much to say about Leah. She's not winning, but I think she's going to be here for a little bit, and she's going to probably be like a D tier player for the rest of the season, unless something completely flips on her head and she gets brought into something. But I just don't see it. I think Leah. There's not much conversation here for this player unless Josie has something else. But like, I think this is she stays right there and we keep it moving. How's everyone else feeling?
Well, how I feel about Leah is this. Yeah, that's why I said nothing. It's like, go girl, give us nothing, Dua Lipa tease. Like, she's just not on the right show. She's making the dumbest move. And quite frankly, what pissed me off the most is her conversation with Cam after the Power of Veto meeting and her feeling entitled to know things when she hasn't been playing the game, and the fact that she's been dissing him left, right, and center. Leah has loyalty to no one and not even herself. It's actually crazy. She's not loyal to MJ. She's not loyal to Cam. She's not loyal to Quinn, people who are willing to work and play the game with her, and she just chooses to talk about her pajama sets and make everything about her, and it's a yawn fest. Next.
She's also just nasty. Like, she can't even just like fade away from someone or like let ties kind of like just break naturally. She has to just trash everybody. Like, she was trashing Rubina. She's trashing MJ, who was her bestie 2 weeks ago. Like, she's trashing Quinn. She trashes Cam. Like, it's going to eventually come back to her. And I hope it does. I hope someone spills and that they call her out, because I think she would be the type to totally and completely crumble under any kind of confrontation. And personally, I would like to see it.
All right, so are we good with her staying right here? Like, that's it? We good?
For now, but I have people I would put below her.
Well, let's see what happens. All right. Next is Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, I would put below her.
She used her power. Katie, why do you want to put Mackenzie under Leah?
She's on the block. She very likely could go this week. I don't even really know why Quinn put her up on the block. Like, I don't know. You know, I could understand if it was Cedric that put her up on the block, given what happened last week. But for some reason, Quinn decided to put her up. She blew her power last week, which in hindsight, she probably should have kept it, given now she's up on the block without any protection. And I was watching the feeds today, and it just seems like no one has any personal connection with her. They feel like they only talk game with that. She only talks game with them when she needs something, but she doesn't actually connect with anybody. It just isn't her. She lost her only ally in Leah, her only real true ally. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do?
I think she went up because Quinn found out she was campaigning for Tucker. That's why I think he wanted to avoid.
Quinn's such a loser.
I think Quinn wanted to avoid anybody potentially taking Tucker down, so that's why it landed on Mackenzie's head. I also she's perfectly fine. I don't like her. I don't hate her. I think she has potential in getting in with Tucker's side. If that develops more and builds more, she's definitely going to land on that side. I don't think she's dead in the water. I think she can go a little bit further, but when she talks game, she only gives. She tells everything. She doesn't keep anything close to her chest. I see her doing a lot of talking and not a lot of gathering. I don't know what she knows. I don't know what her game plan is. I don't know. Mackenzie's a D-lister.
Go home to your brother, girl.
I have never seen a flirt dance drive someone's game to the dirt that badly. Like, this man wasn't even in the house for a week, and you let him destroy your game. Like, it's crazy. Like, y'all, don't ever let a man throw the money out the window. Like, what are you here for? I feel like she has a head on her shoulders in terms of the game. Like, I don't think she's dumb and that she doesn't know what she can or cannot do. I don't think that she lacks strategic prowess or potential. It's just that she does nothing. She has no sense of urgency. She, quite frankly, is just furniture at this point. I think the one upside was her ability to say leverage her power, but her leverage is gone. So now she's on the block. She can easily go home. Like, she hasn't done anything for herself in the game, and it's disappointing because it's like, for what? It's not like she's not capable or she's not intelligent. It's not that. I guess she just doesn't care that much. And people who don't care to be in this game and who don't fight to be in this game can go, in my opinion. So quite frankly, she can pack her bags and dip.
So
Yep.
someone tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't there something going on where like Chelsea and Brooklyn are trying to play with the idea of something with Leah McKenzie? Is that something that's
It's
going on
like
right now?
Chelsea, it has Mackenzie, and Brooklyn has Leah. They each
Yeah.
have their own separate relationship with each of them. That I think they like Brooklyn has an alliance with Mackenzie and Tucker and a few other people. So I think
Yeah.
they just
That's
kind
fine.
of have them
Fine.
as side pieces that they could potentially use. That's my perspective on it.
The best thing that Mackenzie can do at this point, survive and be patient and wait for your opportunity to get into something. I actually don't think Mackenzie has a bad mind for the game per se.
Mhm.
She's just in such a horrible position that I don't really think she can get out of, and she can easily get knocked out any week now. Luckily, the people that she's on the block with, I could see Tucker leaving before Mackenzie. But this is just a really crappy situation to be in, obviously because of the mat mess, and she put a lot of her coins into that basket, and that obviously hasn't worked out for her. So I think something could happen in the future, but as of today, I just don't see it. And I agree. I'm actually down to drop her under Leah because at least Leah has someone like Cam or a couple other people like having conversations with her. Mackenzie doesn't really have much going on, and even in the DRs, I see Mackenzie talk. I'm like, she sort of has like a somewhat of a mind for the game. It's just no one's talking to her. No one really wants to incorporate her. So if I don't know about y'all, but I'm down to put Mackenzie under Leah. That's where I'm feeling.
I would put her there. I think it's a decent chance she goes this week if like a Cedric or Tucker win veto and then the other one wins the AI arena and she's on the block. Like, who are the other two people she's going to be sitting next to? I really don't know with Angela's HOH. I don't see anybody choosing her over really anybody. Like, maybe Leah, she has a chance to stay against, maybe, depending on who, decides where they want to vote. But like, to me, that's a toss up. I think she could go this week. Like, no one's risking their game for her. She doesn't have any allies that are going to actually try. Like you said, Isaiah, that like, at least Cam might fight for Leah. No one's fighting for Mackenzie.
Mackenzie put herself in that situation, and that's what's annoying. Usually I can have a little bit more empathy for players who are just put in a bad situation where it's like, okay, like, things happen, things align, it's just not aligning for you. But Mackenzie's done nothing to help her situation at all. Like I think the fact that Matt left and she was holding on to that power and using that as like her only game tool or her only leverage is literally what's crazy. Like, it's week 4. How have you not connected with these people enough that you have a singular solid ally? One
person.
Like, it's been a month. Like, it's been a month. Like, I almost like at least Angela got some ally potential with Tucker and like stuff like that, and she's safe. Like I can't believe it. It's actually really it's sad to see wasted potential.
Yeah,
I honestly would place Mackenzie over Leah because I constantly see Mackenzie talking game. She talks game with just about everybody. Leah's over talking about people, not game. And I think that she does have an ally in Chelsea. And I think that she also does have an ally in Tucker.
My only difference is that there's people willing to protect Leah. I don't think anyone's going to put their game in jeopardy to save Mackenzie. And as Katie said, like, she can go like this week. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be like trying to grab votes to keep Mackenzie in the game. There are at least like Cam, who has ties with people would be like, I don't want Leah to go. Like I know he's having this thing where he's like somewhat irritated with Leah or whatever, but like I don't think he's standing on that. You know, like
I almost think it's right. I almost think it's worse that Mackenzie talks so much game and it makes no difference in her game. Like that's almost worse. Like how is Leah, who talks no game, very little game, in a better position than someone who talks a lot of game and had a power to leverage and is still in a bad position? Like it's just something is not clicking. I don't know what it is, but like people don't really like her. I mean, Chelsea was trying to get Mackenzie not to use the power last week.
So Katie, you said drop her. I said drop her. Janelle,
I think drop her.
What about you, Josie?
It's fine.
I'm seeing some.
I want to see what Josie's saying.
I'm seeing some of the reactions in the chat, and let me explain to y'all. If you ask me, Josie, and who would you want to have dinner with between Mackenzie and Leah? I'm picking Mackenzie. Like
Same.
Okay, but we're talking about the game. Like if Leah and Mackenzie end up on the block this week, which is literally not possible because Quinn is HOH and is in love with Leah, I still think MJ goes because people are advocating for Leah, and that's what we're ranking it off of, not likability, or else this tier will be very different. I'm sorry. Like, I don't make the rules. So with that, she can go below Leah, quite frankly, because I could see her doing ending.
There's no need to apologize. At least people in the chat agree with me. At least I got
all right, man. Listen, it could be switched next week. Look,
yeah, let's see what happens next week.
We're over here debating over the bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it moving. Let's talk about Rubina.
Girl,
I'm a be bro.
Someone else I might move below Leah.
I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I'm dropping her mad down, bro.
Yeah, listen, me too.
She ain't doing nothing in the game, bro. She was really bad last week. She's bad this week. She is just. I didn't listen. I was already saying during the vote Rubina, because like she wasn't doing nothing, bro.
No, you said vote chemo.
On Twitter, I said chemo and I said Rubina, but I'm really like Rubina is just here. And look, she seems like a really nice girl. I'm actually for her and Tucker showmance and all that, but unfortunately, she's getting dragged down the mud because she's with Tucker. Chemo has a crush on Tucker and is like, Rubina, I'm not feeling Rubina now. Everyone else is seeing this as a showmance. And I think, unfortunately, if she's on the block, she will go before Tucker, which is crazy. I just see Rubina. No one's caring about Rubina outside of Tucker. I think she's done.
I think she stays over Tucker. I do think she stays over Tucker.
1,000%. I think Rubina, like, my thing with her is, like, she's been good for a couple of weeks, mainly because of who her allies are. People like her, they enjoy working with her, and she often gets brought up when they want to include her in things. But this Tucker Rubina stuff is dragging her down. It really just is. She was this close to hitting the block this week because of her association to Tucker and Quinn's fear that she would save Tucker off the block. She's not turning it down. She's ramping it up. She's trying to be discreet. And people like Chemo and T-Core seem to care more about Rubina's position in the game than Rubina does. Like, they are the ones to me that were saying things to include her or push back gently against Quinn when he mentioned putting Rubina up on the block. But like game-wise, I don't know what she's doing. She's just getting brought in. I don't think she's trying to make any strategic connections with anybody. I enjoy her, but I think she's being an idiot right now. But if Tucker stays on top, Rubina's going to be safe. And I could foresee himself like,
he was talking today to Chemo and said he didn't really trust her and was like, I don't know. I don't really trust her. He said the only person he trusts is Chemo and he's willing to cut Rubina. So she doesn't even have Tucker the way she thinks she does. I think she does, but like, I don't think he's willing to sacrifice his game for her.
He went on the block for her last week.
Well, I don't know if he's doing that again.
Right. He may not, but I'm just saying he did that just last week.
Yeah.
He volunteered himself to go on the block so that she did not have to. I saw what you're talking about, Katie. I saw that conversation. I think they're gonna, but game wise, I would still leave her in a D.
Oh yeah.
She seems like a lovely girl, like gorgeous sounds. Yes. Despite that, like, I'm sorry, like she's giving me nothing. Like what? Like the same thing I said about MJ could a little bit apply to Rubina. Like, it's been 4 weeks. Like, you don't really have that many strong allies. Like, she has been in no real alliance. Like, if you think about all the alliances that have been made under the sun, she had a final 2 with Quinn, which everybody and their mama got a final 2 with Quinn. Heck, I'm not even in the house and I have a final 2 with Quinn. And she had the girls alliance, which was never really a thing, to be quite frank. And the fact that she was almost on the block last week, like, she's lucky that Tucker is just insane so that she didn't get on the block. If Rubina would have been on the block, I could have easily seen her going home last week. I don't think she's doing herself any favors, being so linked up and booed up with Tucker. She thinks she's being discreet, but she's talking about it with people who are clearly plotting on her demise specifically, which is a little insane. Leah's not feeling, nobody comes between me and my man, Leah and Tucker delusions. So Leah doesn't like her. Like, she's not really doing anything to advance herself in the game. She's only doing things to worsen her position in the game. And yeah, like, I don't know. Like, you would think at least she's not on the block this week, but like, what is she doing to at least make it outside of jury? Like, to make it to jury, sorry. Nothing. Gorgeous gown, gorgeous girl, nice personality. Other than that, womp womp. Like, you can stay where you are.
Yeah, her biggest ally is her Aquaphor bottle, like, that she carries around literally everywhere she goes all the time. I don't really get it, and listen, I use Aquaphor, it's great, but you don't need to have it at your side every 5 seconds. But I do think Rubina, I mean, given who she's next to, I would probably leave her in this exact position for now. She's also low-key, seems very nice, but she's an instant feed killer for me, because whatever, like, Marcel the Shell baby voice she does constantly actually drives me. It, like, makes me want to crawl out of my skin. It's so annoying. So, like, she's very nice, but, like, she's just not playing, and I just don't think she's doing herself any real favors. Like, you all said it. I don't really have to add anything. I agree with everything you all said.
I'm dropping Leah, y'all. I'm sorry. Like,
wait. I don't know where are you dropping her to?
Under Leah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Under
Leah?
I think she has more strong allies than Leah.
I mean, okay, let me say this. I know times have changed, but I still want to give her the fact that, like, Brooklyn advocated for her last week. Tucker nominated himself for her last week. Like, if we're talking about week 3, I don't think I can put her below Leah. Like,
she did decent work with Cedric last week too.
We can put her down. But if we're talking about week 3, like, I don't think, like, Leah was on, like, I don't know if I can put her down behind Leah.
Here's my thing. They're both at the bottom of the barrel.
They're even.
I think they are. They're both at the bottom. No one cares about them too much. But Rubina's allies who would look out for her are at the bottom with her. I think Leah's allies who will look out for her are at the top of the house, which is why I'm like, I would put Leah over Rubina.
You don't really got allies, though. She has people who are infatuated with her.
And that's going to keep her.
She didn't even recognize that she has that leverage, quite frankly.
For sure. I just think in a situation, Leah stays over Rubina. If they were both on the block, who y'all think is going to eliminate?
I think Rubina stays. Rubina stays.
Really?
Yeah. People don't like Leah. Chelsea doesn't like Leah.
People don't like Rubina.
Yeah, but they like her enough to.
They don't Chemo. Even Chemo. One of her
no, they're friends. He would keep her. He's just jealous. He would keep her.
I think if you sat to Court and Chemo down and both Rubina and Leah on the block, they would come to the common sense.
They absolutely would.
Be better for their game than Leah. Like, if we're being frank and we're looking at the decision makers in this house, like, I'm sorry, Quinn's a little bit of a menace. Like, whatever. Like, he has a crush on Leah. So what? Like, it's not that much. Like, I just feel like the decision makers in the house would not keep Leah over Rubina. Like, at least Rubina has been in talks about an alliance with these people, like, from time, Leah,
and she's friendly with Brooklyn. She did good work last week with Cedric, and he said he wants to keep her in the house for a long time. Just as a person, he likes her. T-Core was trying to talk some sense into her today. Like, people want her to be playing, where no one cares if Leah's playing or if she's staying or going, other than Cam. And even Cam was like, I'm never talking to that girl again. Like, he's back and forth with her. So I think Rubina's in a better social position right now than Leah. But they're basically even.
Cam's not making any decisions.
Cam has no influence in anything.
Gets told what to do and he does
exactly.
All right. Exactly. So stay there. All right, next is Joseph. Janelle, what's going on with Joseph?
Now, I haven't watched a ton of Joseph this past week, but Joseph's doing better because before I talked about how the first week he was hitting the ground running and then it was really spooked off by Angela and almost getting put up and really seemed to pump the brakes, but he's getting back into it. I see him talking a lot of game with Chelsea. My thing about Joseph is I have no idea and I'm super, super curious what you guys think where his loyalties lie, if it's with Chelsea and them or if it's with Takor and Chemo. But he seems to have his hands and his opinions in a lot of different pots as far as sharing his opinion and his opinion being taken as valid. So I think he's ramped it up. He's doing a lot better. I have no idea where he's truly placed or who would really go to bat for Joseph, but I think he's doing better than he was the last time we talked about him.
Joseph needs an HOH or a veto or something to get some kind of like power or influence, because I think he's just like there and people talk to him. I agree with you, Janelle. Like, what is his game right now? He has game sense. Quinn seems to like him, but like, who cares about Quinn, in my opinion? That's where I'm at. But I felt that way last week and I extra feel that way this week. But like, I don't know. He was doing good work with Leah. I need to see like him actually play the game. I feel like he hasn't been forced to actually play. So he's like dipping in a toe, testing the waters, but he hasn't like jumped fully in the pool. And like, I just need him to just dive in. Just dive in. It'll be fine.
I don't think Joseph is really aware of like what's going on in the house. I think Joseph has a false sense of control that he doesn't have. I think he's a little lost, but I think people don't mind him right now. So I think he's chill. I'm not going to raise or drop him. I don't think his position improved or decreased, but like he needs to like wake up. Sorry, he's a very active player, so I'm not gonna say wake up, but he just needs to get in the know. I think he does need an HOH, or at least he needs to make better allies with the people who are like at the top, because like he's not really on the top of anyone's priority list as well. I don't think many people are looking too much out for him. Like there's people who are working with him for sure, but will they do what they can to keep him? I'm not really sure. So. We'll see about that, but I'm kind of keeping Joseph exactly where he is. I don't really see much elevation from right now.
First of all, I want to shout out whoever running Joseph's social media because
oh my god, same, so good.
Because damn, it's rough. Like the way he was talking about like America's power veto and who they would put up, and he was like, yeah, it has to be someone who hasn't really been shown on camera, blah blah blah. Like I've been shown a few. I feel like with my mustache, I'm like, brother, like a little delusional. I will argue for him for a bit because I feel like there have been points made against him, and we have to keep it balanced. He had a conversation with Chemo and Takor and kind of really like laid out the potential of a final three between the three of them. There was a conversation about like how the sharks can go after each other and the fishes can like swim to the end, and like they were referencing themselves as the guppies, or I think Joseph called them the guppies. I don't know if it's like an official full-fledged thing, but he is aligning himself with these quieter players, and I think that's why his game is not so much in our face, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, to be fair. Like if you look at the people on the board, I see people going after a lot of people before Joseph. I see people going after Cam before Joseph. Cedric's volunteering himself on the block so he could go before Joseph, because there's no way, and heck, you will see Joseph not like volunteer to go on the block. Right. There's no way. Like he would have to be put there by force. Like it literally, when half the house isn't pitching to volunteer, then he gets to like coast on by. He has good relationships with players like Chelsea, who is a power player, and despite the collective not really being a thing, it was somewhat revived this week. They had meetings. So I feel like people do want to work with Joseph, and he's not necessarily in a bad spot. Now, the question is, if he does get HOH, who does he go after? I don't know. But that kind of becomes a thing where I'm like, maybe he shouldn't win HOH because no one's really looking at him. He doesn't really have any enemies. He seemed like the likable Joker in the house. Like, even the two opposing forces right now, Quinn and Tucker per se, they both like Joseph. So he
Yeah.
actually is in the middle. And because his game is not maybe fully out there, we might be a little bit more lenient to like, not discredit him, but not value him as a player. But I do think he has a lot of things going for him that surprisingly, like, I don't know if he needs to move up a tier or just be ahead of the tier, but like he is fairly okay.
I would just keep him exactly where he's at, y'all. Like I don't really think he's doing much.
I agree with you.
Like
I think his position is going to improve by default in a minute.
Okay. So
Am
what
I
do you guys
wrong?
want to do with him? What do you guys want to do with him?
I think he should be at the top of D and a low C.
I think he's about to be.
I mean, you can do it now. Tucker's dropping 100%.
Yeah, I mean, hello.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can
Okay,
leave Joseph.
we can leave him as this, and if I don't like Joseph's placement at the end, I will say something. How about that?
Okay, Joe.
To the top of
All
it.
right.
You can move. Katie, you can move on.
He'll be. I mean, Tucker's moving down, so we don't even need to move him.
All right. So Tucker.
He'll be there. He'll be there in 2 seconds. Don't
You're
worry.
not gonna
First of all-
advocate for Tucker like no one's business. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. Tucker is one HOH away from like all-time Big Brother character status. Like this guy is, as Angela, pure entertainment for me. I think this guy has been amazing feeds. He's been amazing TV. That to do what he did, which is like big plan against Quinn, it fails. Call out Cedric in front of the entire house. Fight
And be wrong.
Cedric. It's okay. I'm here for the delusion.
Technically,
It's all
they were
right.
both right. Technically,
They were both right, but
Yeah.
I'm here for the delusion too. I don't even care. But then also to go up there, win the AI arena, and then Kenny unfortunately goes home, but still he could talk his shit, and then guess what? He's not going home this week. Well, pause. I forgot.
We don't
Quinn's
know.
broken ass power. I can't wait to talk about Quinn. Quinn's broken power messed everything up, but he honestly should have been saved this week. Unfortunately, he has to win a veto or AI arena. I can see him winning it, to be honest. But he is an all-time. He's about to be all-time. Like if there's like that small pool of characters that need to be returnees for future All-Stars, if they do that again, he's easily right now in the contention out of this group. But Tucker is in a really horrible position. He's so bad. I'm here for the bad gameplay, okay? But like for this list, we got to drop him down. Like
He's dead in the water.
Yeah, he's well.
He's dead in the water. He's not winning this game.
I don't know about that.
He's not
Oh,
winning
yeah,
this
yeah.
game.
You convince me because I'm not sure about that. Convince me.
Okay, I might have to
I
side
need
with
to
I'm a
convince
Isaiah.
Tucker hater
and-
here, so let me just go because I know y'all love him.
I don't love him.
I enjoy Tucker. I think there's aspects of him that are funny, that are charming, that are endearing, but I think he's a trash player. And I don't like anything more than somebody that is loud and then loud and wrong. Cedric did tell him to use the veto on himself. I don't know if that's gameplay or if he really believes Cedric didn't say that to him, but I can't stand a loud, wrong, aggressive person screaming at Tucker or screaming at Cedric when Cedric is right. It just annoys my soul. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. Other aspects of Tucker, I love.
It's Big Brother, to be fair, and like
That's fine. I'm just talking
even
about
though the
what
guy
I
that I'm
would
about
do.
to say is also a bad person. I'm not calling Tucker.
No, I
bad.
don't think he's a bad person.
The guy, no,
I'm
yeah,
saying he's a
the
bad
guy
person.
I'm about to bring up was a bad person. But Jackson Mickey doing that screaming match against Tommy Bracco when he was loud and wrong and Tommy was right,
It worked.
it got him the win. You know, so it's not always wrong to scream at people.
No,
I
just
mean, it's Big
talking about
Brother.
what I enjoy. I was
Right.
watching it all play and unfold. I just don't enjoy, like, you're loud and wrong and coming at him like that. I respect Cedric for how he handled it. He kept calm. He's just not my favorite right now. I'm hoping he goes out. I know he's maximum entertainment. I know everybody loves him, but I'm just like, no, he can go. If he can
The
scream
only
at
reason
Cedric like that, he'll scream at anybody.
the only reason I can't put Tucker dead in the water is that he at least has Angela and he at least has Rubina, right? It's like Mackenzie doesn't have anybody. Mackenzie doesn't have anybody. Okay, that's all I gotta say. And it's just like if he is in dead of water, you're gonna have to move Angela and Mackenzie in dead of water as well. If you have
Nobody's
He's in a
coming
worse
at least-
position.
out.
He's in a
Nobody's
worse
coming-
position than Angela.
He can win comps too, though. That's what I'm saying. He can win
So can
competitions.
Angela.
Right now, he's in a worse position than Angela.
That's what I'm saying. I agree. I don't think he should be dead in the water. I think if you're asking me, I'm putting him over Mackenzie and Angela. But continue. No. Sorry about that. Oh, and I'm gonna say Chemo too. I know Chemo is wishy-washy, but Chemo has a huge crush on Tucker.
Oh yeah, I think that's the only person Josie, you go. I'll wait.
So let's be for real right now. Tucker is Big Brother this season. I fear it's giving entertainment. Yes. Now, if we're going to talk about the previous week and the whole debacle between him and Cedric, the reason why I said they're both technically right is because Cedric didn't literally tell Tucker, do not use the power of veto. I will not be putting up Quinn. He did not say that verbatim. He said, I talked to some people in the house and we don't gotta vote. And he said, fuck off. That was the interaction, right? Cedric's intention was to say, hey, we don't have the votes. I'm not putting up Quinn. Don't use the power of veto on, or either don't use the power of veto or use it on yourself. But that wasn't what Tucker received. I think he was also giving a little bit of. So
he didn't say that.
Both Cedric of them.
He did not say use the veto on yourself. I swear they played.
Yeah, he just said use the veto on yourself. We don't have the votes. And Tucker said, "Fuck that. I'm doing it anyway." And then he wasn't like, "No, bro, I'm not good." But he should have said, "I'm not putting up Quinn. Use the veto on yourself. I'm putting up MJ because I'm putting up MJ. Do what you want, but I'm not putting up Quinn."
Tucker's issue is that he didn't put up Quinn. That's what the betrayal feels like. Like Tucker using the POV on himself or using it on Angela doesn't really matter because regardless of who was going up, he was expected for Quinn to go on the block with him. But that was never going to happen. I could have told you that from that conversation, but I guess Tucker was all up in his mind. That's why I think they're both right. They're both right and they're both wrong. Like it's kind of just neutralized. I don't like the way he spoke to Cedric this week. I think it was a little intense. Like keep it to the game. He didn't promise you to put up Quinn. Like, let's be for real. There's no clip where he's like, it's happening, blah, blah, blah. I think it was a little too much. And I think his lack of like self-awareness on how that made other house guests feel, because he didn't do it in an argument in a room 101. He did it in an open public forum. And it made people go like, what's going on with you? Like, Cedric's much younger than you, but you're acting immature. And I said it last week. Cedric gets the advantage of using his age and looking almost naive and immature to his advantage, whether it's done on purpose or not. So it was just like not gonna turn out well for him. But now his arrogance, also in the way he's been a little cocky, despite the public liking him, his opinion and what people think of him in the house are more important. Like everyone can love him in the house or outside the house, but if people don't feel like he's a good guy, or like that they want to work with him or whatnot, it's just, he's not going to last that long. He could be America's favorite if that's what you want. I would rather Tucker over Kenny, to be quite frank. So like y'all can vote that for him, but I think that's his demise. Now, I don't know if he's dead in the water because let's be frank, Jag should have been dead in the water and the brother won the game by comping out like no one's freaking business. And the comps this season are equitable enough that a guy like Tucker could still wash the floor with all of the house. So for me, it's hard to put him in dead in the water because there's too many competitions that Tucker can participate in that he can win that can guarantee his safety. Because we have HOH, we can't even do a classic black door because there's the BB arena, and then if they put them on the block immediately anyways, because no one wants to put 3 pawns on the block or get more blood on their hands anyways, they're still POV. So he just has too many competitions that he can potentially participate in that can save him. If POV was on eviction night, then maybe we could have a backdoor situation, but the backdoor opportunity is now been closed because of the BB arena. Now, if they remove the BB arena, I think then we can have a classic backdoor moment, but we don't know when that will end. So I can't really put him dead in the water because he has proven that he's a competitor and he's here to win. But I think socially, he's in a crappy position. The only way he can really position himself to be better is if he wins an HOH. and he would have to be flawless with his execution. And he's just a messy player. Like, he's messy. Like, we keep saying that Quinn is messy, but he is also as messy. So it's hard for me. I think he would have to be lower tier. I don't know if I can put him in dead in the water because of the format of this season.
Right.
I just think
I really
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I really do think, like, obviously with Tucker, like I said, he's in like a really bad position. But just like this week, had it not been for the advantage, Angela wins, and he's probably not going to be. No, not even probably. He's not going to be considered for the block, and I'm pretty sure he probably would have had a really good chance to, like, maybe smooth the waters with some people. But I do think Tucker. Obviously, if he doesn't go this week, if he doesn't win a comp, obviously him or Rubina need to win it. And I mean, who knows what's going to happen this week after after the veto competition, because God knows what's going to happen. But I think that there is a smidge. It just depends on if whoever's winning HOHs and stuff, if you get what I'm saying. I do think there is something with a player who's like willing to do what they want and kind of put the games in their hands. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure. But if anything has shown me this season, this is not like a super game savvy cast. I think that they're all very emotional, and they're all going to do stuff depending on how they're feeling, depending on the day. Chemo can hate Tucker 1 second and then fall in love with him the next second and try to advocate for him to stay in the house. I think Angela can blow up on someone, and then the whole target gets pushed onto someone else the next second. Quinn is so messy. There's so much going on in this house. I think there's a whole lot of uncertainty because of last week as well. So I'm not going to close the door yet. I'm still dropping Tucker. I'll put him over like maybe Leah or Mackenzie personally, but I don't think he's dead in the water just yet. That's all.
Yeah, he has secured Angela as an ally that I don't think she will cross him. Despite Angela being chaotic, she is a loyal person from what we've seen so far. So she has Angela, he has Rubina, he has MJ, and I think he could have Leah, and he has somewhat Chemo. So Katie, I'll let you body him, because you did last week.
Well, yes, I bodied him last week. I don't know that I am actually on his side of after what happened last week. I do think Cedric, he doesn't owe Tucker anything. I don't even really think that Tucker was too aggressive with Cedric. I think, like, whatever, if that's the energy you're bringing into the house, like, just start it up, whatever, who cares? Like, I don't know. I agree with you, Isaiah. It's Big Brother. People yell, people scream, people burn people with cigarettes. We're not, he who shall not be named, but, like, there's a precedent in this house for screaming at each other. And, like, if you're not ready to handle that, then don't go on the show. That's kind of how I feel. Or do your homework and know what you could be prepared for. But it's a social experiment, and that's a way to, like, get in people's heads. So I get it. I don't think he crossed the line. I don't think he went personal. I think, what did he say? Like, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. Like, I know to me, the problem is with this house and what Tucker did in that moment is we have a lot of morality police in the house that, people leaving the room because they don't even want to hear the rest of the conversation. People upset about how they're going to remember that. And I think, Tucker is just way too unpredictable. And I don't think Jag is even, I think from a comp perspective, Jag is a good, comparison, but from a personality and from like an unpredictability perspective, Jag, you knew what Jag was going to do. He took the easiest way out every single week, and it was just easy. No one targeted him. It was easy. For Tucker, I think he's so unpredictable. Also, I'm keeping up with just like what's going on Twitter, and apparently he's trashing Rubina in the middle of the house right now because she didn't give him enough attention. Like, he doesn't have any true loyalty to anybody. He doesn't really want to work with Angela. He's been telling everybody he doesn't have anything with Angela. Like, he wants to be flying on his own. Like, he doesn't want to be in a big alliance. Like, yeah, he made the alliance with Chemo and T-Core, which they're not even fully locked in on that yet. But like, he doesn't want that. Like, he wants to just do his own thing. Who even knows? He could have, if without this power, maybe he would have nominated himself again for the third week in a row. Like, I just don't. You don't know what he's going to do, and no one's putting their game on the line for him because he's not loyal. I just don't see a way that he gets himself out of this. I think just the fact that there's so many competitions that he can win, that's also more competitions that he can lose and more opportunity for other people to stay up. Like, he would have been out last week if Kenny won that competition. He would have been gone.
Yeah. That's correct.
If Quinn won the competition, he would have been out. Like, he had 1 foot out the door last week.
And I think
For sure.
the alliances that are approaching him, like the 5-point thing, it's because people are intimidated. like they don't want to be on the wrong side of somebody that can win and come back. That is clear as day to me. They're not trying to make anything out with him because they legitimately want to work with him. T-Core's words were he's trying to play this game through intimidation, but she also doesn't want to be stuck on the wrong side of the of Tucker. So she made that alliance with him and Chemo and Brooklyn and Rabina, I believe, MJ. So yeah, I don't think that he's gonna, like Katie said, have anybody sticking their neck out for him. I'm excited for Tucker to leave.
I'm not, because I think the show's going to be very boring. The feed's going to be boring. I'm going to be bored. And I don't even really like him that much. But I agree with you, Isaiah. He's like, him and Angela are the two stars of the cast. Like, they are already cemented in like all-time Big Brother status to me because of just how wild they are. But he's a really bad player and he's going to leave very soon.
Sidebar outside of the tier list. I hate how like everybody in the fandom's like, we need old school Big Brother back. You know what I'm saying? I think this season has been very non-personal, you know what I'm saying? It's been very just like messy and like fun. Yeah. But like I feel like Big Brother Twitter has like catered itself to like we need to hate somebody and it can't just be fun. We need to hate someone. And it's like I don't see the problem with Tucker Day. He was just talking his shit. Like we see this in sports, we see this in everything like, yo, I'm gonna take you the fuck down. Like, you know, that's how it is, right? And I feel like obviously, like, you know, he's a little obnoxious or whatever, but like, who cares, bro? Like, y'all, if y'all hate this, I would just wonder what Big Brother 10 looks like in like modern day,
right?
Bro. Like because like I feel like everyone's trying to cancel everyone in that season. Like, I just like I don't know, I don't see the problem, man. Like, you know, this is fun to me. And if Tucker and Angela goes, this is just going to be up. The big group of people sit around, chill for the whole day, and then we just wait until it gets to the final five. Some twist is going to happen, and then Chelsea, Brooklyn, or like freaking like Quinn or something. I don't know. Like I'm just so here for like. This is such a non-problematic, fun season for me, and even like Matt. I don't even think Matt was that bad, bro. And then it's just like, oh, fuck, man, we need to cancel Matt. I'm like. What do you do? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't see the problem with Tucker, bro. Like he's a character.
All I have to say is that Tucker is like half of BB Twitter, just a hater. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Y'all hate Tucker, but y'all are exactly like Tucker.
Yes, I agree.
Like, let's be for real for a second. And also, it's like, I don't think people really want old Big Brother back because old Big Brother was actually chaotic. Like, I'm now watching I'm currently watching season 3. You know, I'm making my way up. And I just saw Marcellus's mom call him the F word on national television. Like, y'all don't want OBB back. Like, you don't want OBB back. Please be serious. Like Marcellus pretty much said that Julie Chen called him an angry black man, like on live television. Like, y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. It's okay. It's okay.
Marcellus hates Julie.
I like the fight.
Y'all saw some of y'all actual faves on the real feeds that are hidden in the archives. A lot of them were saying some wild stuff. I ain't gonna put them names up, but some of y'all faves were saying some wild. It's just you're not gonna find it. I've seen some stuff.
And half of y'all are complaining, but y'all follow Aaron's Twitter. Like, come on now.
Janelle, go ahead. I'm sorry. We keep cutting Janelle off. Go ahead.
Listen, I've always been me. That's just how I am.
As you should, bro.
Love it and enjoy it. To me, I just didn't like how we spoke to him. Do I think Tucker's a terrible person? No, I don't. I'm not saying he should be canceled or anybody else on this season should be canceled. It's just for what I personally enjoy. You guys find it entertaining and fun and chaotic. Great. I don't. I hope he goes.
If Taylor was reading Daniel Durston like that, I wonder if that would be the same exact response.
All irrelevant. I just didn't like it. If he would have been a little more toned down, it just.
If Taylor read Daniel Durston like that, are we having the same response?
Be honest, Janelle. You would have loved it.
No, because I think Daniel deserved it and Cedric didn't.
Yeah.
You know,
whatever. That's all I'm saying. Bro.
Did I like how Tucker spoke to Cedric? No. But am I like, oh my God, Tucker needs to like, am I now a Tucker hater? No. I'm like, okay, you chose to talk to him that way. Like, I don't really vibe with it, but it's the Big Brother house. Some people are nasty. Like,
I'm here for the bullying.
I agree.
I want bullying.
Bring bullying back to Big Brother.
Y'all
Who
are
got
crazy.
bullying? All right, there you go. That's all you
I
want.
don't. Yeah.
I just think he, back to the game, is so emotionally unhinged and unpredictable that he's flaming out. He's flaming out already. Like I just, Angela's in a better spot than him this week. MJ's in a better spot than him this week. I don't see how he's going to work himself out of this because he's just not rational in his thinking. Like, he's not a gamer. He just does the most extreme move at all times just to like make a spectacle. So I just don't know how he gets himself out of it. That's it. So I personally find him to be dead in the water. I don't think he's winning, but if I'm the only one that feels that way, I think he should be at the bottom of D at least.
Oh, I will vote for that. I join you, Katie.
You know what? I'm a woman of the people. I can, unless Isaiah really wants to fight for him not to be dead in the water, then
Isaiah's taking the easy way out because his headphones are dead, so he can't even hear what we're saying.
I'm sorry. What you said?
We're voting. You're the tie vote. I mean, or you're the tiebreaker of where's he going?
I told y'all I'm putting him over Leah under Rabina.
No, he's got to be at the bottom of D. He could leave this
there
week.
needs to be a compromise.
All
Either
right,
he's dead in the water,
so
he's
that's
not.
D then. D tier.
All right.
D for dead in the water.
There you go.
That's where I think he belongs.
D tier. All right.
I need to
Right.
coin that or something.
He belongs dead in the water to me personally.
The people above him need to be dead in the water. All right, we're finally out the D tier. We're an hour in. You know what I'm saying?
Now. I think we're going to be stacking this D tier up.
Put Cam in the D tier now.
I'll let y'all do Cam. Keep talking. Go ahead.
Somebody said in the comments, we love bullies.
We do love bullies.
Let me tell you something right now. Put Cam in that D tier. I don't want to see him in C. He does not deserve it. Cam crying about the morality of Big Brother. Why are you on the show?
Yeah.
People lie, people deceive, and people manipulate. I can't. The fact that you have to hide the fact that you're in an alliance is lying. You're hiding the truth. Mm-hmm. You're lying. You're actively lying, and you want to be delusional and be the morality police. If we're gonna harp on people outside the house for being the morality police, I'm gonna put him right there with him. I am sick of Cameron. He is not playing the game. He is crying. He is in love with Leah, who couldn't care less about him. And then she's gaslighting him to make him feel like, you know what? It is my bad that I didn't tell you about alliances. No, it's the game. Stop crying. You're annoying. You're not playing the game. There's no strategy. He's just lucky that he got put in the Pentagon Alliance with no merit because he's a guy who's physically fit and used to play football like every other guy in every other season of this stupid show. He can go to D tier. I don't care. Like, this man needs to go in D tier. He is not a player. I don't want him in this house. If Quinn wouldn't have gone up on that block, I would have loved for it to be Cam. I even put more votes on Cam than I did Quinn. Oops, I said it because the day I had the right to vote, I used two emails. I put 15 on Cam and 10 on Quinn. And that's me being for real. No. He's disappointing and he's pissing me off. Cute guy. I'm sure he's a great guy. But in terms of the game,
I'm with you. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Yeah.
Yep. And also he's just such a dud. Like, I don't want to call somebody stupid, but like, there's no strategic bone in his body. Like, I don't think he could move through this game if he didn't have other people leading his way. Like, he'd be off to the wayside. He'd be snookered and blindsided and backstabbed. And then he has zero, ambition, it seems, to do anything positive or make moves or strong. He's literally just there. They call T-Core furniture, and I don't know how they call T-Core furniture. She's always talking game. Cam, I can't see him winning. If he goes far, it's just because people drag him along and there's bigger targets in front of him, bigger people that they worry about as far as a real threat in the game. I don't think people are threatened by Cam's stature. And that's it. You know, he's a trash player.
How do you alienate your allies? How do you make Chelsea and Cedric feel some type of way? We didn't even talk about that, but he made both of them feel some type of way with the way he was moving with Leah. And he says he's done with her, but he always says that and he goes back to her. I'm fine with Leah and Cam being in a showman's, but she is not into it that much, and he lets her play him, and she doesn't even recognize it. And that's what's so annoying about the two of them. It's like they're not self-aware to know what they're doing to either party. And it's like, I want to root for Cam. Okay. I would love to root for Cam. I would love to be Cam's number one fan. If he gave me something to fight for, something to want to watch, something to want to root for, but he gives me none of it.
Nothing.
And it's because I was rooting for him in the beginning, and it's annoying. Like, if you don't want to play the game, you might as well be like Kenny and walk out the door. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, nothing about him personally, just the way he plays the game.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna lay off Cam a little bit because I think he's a nice guy. Obviously, he's in a big alliance. You know what I'm saying? The alliance that's running the game, and I think one of two of his allies are in a very powerful position, which will always work to his benefit because that's going to stop him from getting booted anytime soon. But obviously, like, he doesn't have the best mind for the game. He's stop. He's putting a lot of like his like stock in Leah, which isn't good. I know he's like voiced that he's like anti-Leah a little bit. I don't really fully believe that, but like as long as he's tied with Chelsea, it's always going to be a net positive. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's the saying? It's not about what you have, it's about who you know. You know, and he knows one of the two most powerful players in the game right now.
But yeah.
So,
I'm not sure how long he's going to be tied to Chelsea because she complains about him more and more.
Listen, she got a crush.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, she's not taking him out. At the end of the day, she's taking out Leah and all the other girls ahead of
He had
Cam.
a crush on Cam. She got mad it wasn't about her, and she started to talk crazy. But you listen, she's not turning on Cedric, and she's not turning on Cam. We all know that.
I
So,
agree.
Nami, if you don't stop, continue. I'm sorry.
I don't think she's talking mess on Cam because of the crush. I think she's gotten to know him and be like,
correct,
like his attractiveness.
Correct.
She's got to know him after she saw that he was locked in with Leah. That's all I gotta say.
No.
Yeah, but the thing is with Chelsea is that he's a very loyal number to her, and he's not going to betray her because he doesn't like to lie, he doesn't like to strategize, and he's just muscle for her. Maybe he'll win a comp, maybe he won't, but if he does win an HOH, it's her and Cedric's HOH. It's not Cam's HOH. So I think he's safe. While they're safe, he's safe. Like, he's in a good spot. No one's coming for him. And I also think, like, you know, Leah's going to keep him around. If she's in power, she wouldn't target him because he's quote unquote protecting her. Like, I think he's not in a great spot in, like, but he could win. Like, he has very easy win equity. He's a Jag to me. He's a Matt to me. Like, he doesn't know what's going on in the game, but he can win comps and he has allies and it's going to take him to the end. So I can't really put him in D. And I agree with you, Isaiah. He's like a nice guy, but all he wants to do is talk about Game of Thrones and movies. I feel like he is in C.
I'm on bottom of C tier. I don't see Cam in any situation leaving before jury, and I can see him easily making final six. I just think that no matter what personal feelings Chelsea may or may not have for Cam, I think Cam is going to be loyal to the soil. And I think even though it's annoying, his strategy of being extremely honest for the rest of the game will probably pay him more positives than negatives. So he's already well liked in the house, and I feel like people are going to trust his word. Word is key in Big Brother, and I think he's going to be pretty far. And I actually think he has win equity, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. So I think he's C. And I'm not even bottom C because I see someone else dropping a couple people actually. But yeah.
I will say one thing too about Cam is that he's one of very few people that has not nominated himself and offered to go on the block, and that's more than I can say for Cedric, who's sitting above. What?
Wait for the day. Wait.
When did he volunteer?
When Chelsea was HOH, he's like, I mean, if y'all need me to do it, I'll do it. He volunteered. Chelsea just didn't end up doing it because when Noms came back, I was like, thank God she didn't do it. But he offered it. He rejected it first.
He is a recruit.
What a mess. The season's a mess.
He is a recruit, y'all. He is a recruit, but
everybody gets the same smoke from me, recruit or
agree.
Super fan or not.
But I'm saying, even with that,
Cam was a super fan, he would be getting the same amount of smoke. I'm sorry. I think Cam is a great person. Good guy. That's why I told you guys last week. This man is built for Netflix. He's built for the challenge. He's not built for Big Brother. And so, as a Big Brother super fan. It is annoying to see this gameplay on my feeds, especially since he has the potential to actually do something. To me, if you guys are going to leave him in C tier, which is fine, I'm a woman of the people, I'm a woman of democracy, I can take the hit. We have to have some people in A tier because he's a little too close to some players who are actually playing the game throughout the day. Like, this man just sits there and he's lucky that he got good genes and he was a sports player.
Also, my bad. I was wrong about the nomination. Sorry.
Cam provides nothing. Like, can we be real? If Cam didn't look the way he did, if he wasn't built the way he was, if he was not athletic, he was not none of that, he would not be in this position. We would not.
I have a question though. What does that mean? Like, he's not doing it. What do you guys want him to do that he's not already doing in the house right now? He's in a great position.
Want him to actually play the game and actually.
Wait. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna list this off and tell me what he's doing wrong. In the most powerful lines in the house right now, he's aligned with the most powerful people in the house right now.
But he's there.
Everybody likes him. He could probably win a comp. No one's targeting the guy outside of Quinn, who probably is going to back off after this week. What is it that he needs to do at week 3 that he isn't doing already?
I'm not saying that he's not doing what he needs to do for week 3. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's
in general though, because it's like, all right, like I understand like his gameplay is annoying, but it's effective. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's working.
Yeah, but it's effective because he's done like, that's my frustration. People who get to come into the house and just be in a good position because they're doing absolutely nothing. It's annoying to see. Personally, like, it just, to me, it's like, it's annoying to see. I'm not saying he's a bad person, blah blah blah. If the same situation were to happen to MJ or Leah, I would be saying the exact same thing. It's not about how, like, who Cam is as a person. I just find it annoying that we're leaving him in C tier with people I feel like are actually playing the game to a degree, and he just gets to be in C tier because he doesn't really want to play Big Brother.
Yeah, he has a lot more win equity than a lot of the people that are above him right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, the thing is that, wait, you think he has more win equity than who?
Than the majority of the people that are above him right now. I agree.
Win the game or win?
I would say the next 4 people, he has a lot more win equity than all 4 of them.
The game,
I would say equal. I think equal.
Equal, if not above. Like, I really do feel that way.
Delusional, Ben. There's no way you're telling Cam would have to. Oh my goodness! Like we're talking about win equity, as in he would make it into the final 2 chairs, right?
Yeah.
But Josie, look at Matt last season. Matt could have won the game if he had a better speech with players that know how to play. Like, we had more players last season. What?
We're talking about Matt, who was beside Jack, who had a horrible game. I don't care that he was last season's winner. I'm gonna be so honest. He got evicted. He literally lost the show. Like,
no, I know, but he still won. He still won.
A good play because of the
no, that's not what I'm arguing, but I'm saying he still won the game. He got evicted unanimously in week 4 and won the game.
I'd have to look all the way back, but like recency bias. I mean, recent seasons show me this archetype has had one of the 2 chairs in the final 2 for the past I don't know how many seasons.
And I don't like this archetype. I find it annoying.
We don't have to like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but I think
fact is fact. He has
very easily could make it.
Like, well, I'm just saying like if we leave him in C tier, I'm not saying let's move him from C tier. I'm saying if we keep him in C tier, he's not first, second. Like, I don't know how many people are gonna be in C tier.
I think he's fine where he is.
Last. Like, I was gonna put him in the highest D tier.
I see someone dropping below him. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I don't think anyone is below him right now.
I don't know.
Isaiah has I can rock with C. Isaiah has convinced me, even though I don't think Cam has done a lot of groundwork to get himself in the position that he's in. He hasn't played himself into that good position or decent position where nobody's looking at him. Nonetheless, he's still there. Whether
I'm sorry, Cam, we could have replaced Cam with Matt. It would be the same thing. That's the guy.
And Matt won $50,000.
Matt would have won if he didn't say what he said in the finale.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about this season's Matt. I'm not talking about last season's Matt. The 2 of them, to me, are interchangeable. It just so happened that Matt got in an alliance with MJ early.
I think Matt's just messy.
Cam got in an alliance with Aaliyah. Like, to me, they're one and the same. They're twins. Like, they can kiki whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not hating on Cam as a person. I want to make that clear. but it's just frustrating that a guy like Cam gets to walk in the house and like he does things to destroy his game. It's not like he was neutral. It's like he chooses to hang out with Leah. He chooses to do certain things that make no sense. He chooses to like weirdly side with Tucker after the big blow up, despite him being in an alliance with Cedric. Like he does things to me that counteract all of the for lack of a better word, blessings he's received by just walking and being who he is.
There's 12 people in the house, and it's also up to them to do something about it. You know, like I can't get mad at the guy for the inability for these other people to realize, like, let's just bump this guy out of here and do what we need to do. He's a benefit to a lot of people. Listen, there's also a huge shot this guy is just a fessy and like just gets bumped that joke. But like as of right now, C is just middle of the road. I don't see him getting bumped before jury. There's a good shot he makes finale, and guess what? There's also a good shot he's like early jury, like, but he's not going pre-jury. That's the biggest thing. So like,
I think the other thing too about Cam is that he's not in an alliance with a lot of the people in the house, and all of those people in the house still like him. Like Angela really likes him. She wouldn't have put him. Maybe she would have put him up on the block just to like target some of the men. But like, you know, I think the Mackenzies, the Leahs, the Rubinas, like no one's thinking about him as a target, even if they're not working with him. Like he's in a good spot, whether it's on his own merit or not. Like he's in a good spot, and he could potentially win the game.
I think where I'm differentiating is the fact that I still see him do things despite his position. I still see him doing counteractive things despite his position. Like if he would just stop talking to Leah and actually stand 10 toes behind it, then he'd be fine. I'd be like C tier, because at least he knows that he needs to cut those ends. But he said that last week and he's doing that. He does counteractive things to go against his position, but it's just because he was lucky enough to be in the position that he's in that we're leaving him in C. But I think as a player and what he's doing and the moves to continue in this game, they're not net, like he's ononly ended up net positive because he's just so lucky that he was
I drop him if like he actually if like his bad moves actually affected his position, but it hasn't.
But I think
can I just say we lost
early.
Quinn ruined the game for us again.
Wild.
We lost. She confirmed this morning if she did not get overthrown, Quinn, Cedric, and Cam would have been on the block. And that I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen it.
I'm about to see that. That's crazy. All right. Anyway, Angela.
All right. Next.
Dead in the water. Angela dead in the water. Anyway. Let's continue. Cedric, in my opinion, is dropped. And I think he's had a very big week. But I think Cedric has people coming after him. Cam doesn't. I think that's going to be the big thing. He pissed off a lot of people who are at the bottom, so it doesn't hurt him too much, right? But the fact of the matter is Cedric now has ops. Cedric now has people who want Cedric out. And if he's unlucky, like this week, well, according to what I just seen, I don't know if that's fully true. But if certain people win power, Cedric could be up on that block.
He's on the block.
Sorry. Cedric could be in danger of going home. That's the better way I should put it.
He volunteered. When he knows people are against him, he volunteered to be on the block. I mean, he knows people are coming for him, and you still volunteered to put yourself up there. Exactly. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I think Cedric still it helps that he's in a good spot alliance wise. But he's either bottom C or top of D for me. I'm curious to see how everyone else feels about that.
I think Cedric's HOH last week was so he tried it. He tried to give us the most boring week possible, and it turned into the most chaotic week possible thanks to Tucker. But it's like he did whatever he could to not get blood on his hands, and he got more blood on his hands than anybody else has this entire season. And I think he did make himself a little bit of a target. I think people will come for him. MJ, if she stays, will come for him. Tucker, I'm sure, maybe they're cool, maybe they're not. I really don't know where they stand. It's like hard to tell. Tucker's so all over the place. But like he's easy. I think he has the numbers to stay depending on who he's up against at the end of the week. There's so many opportunities for people to be taken off and whatever. But I do think he really fumbled. And I think I really do firmly feel like, yes, he didn't owe Tucker anything, but he put himself in the position to leave it up for interpretation of what was happening instead of just standing up and saying to Tucker, I am not putting up Quinn, it's my HOH actually, bro. So have a seat and I'm going to do what I want. You do whatever you want to do with the veto, but I'm I'm the HOH. I have the key, I have the room, and I have the power to put up whatever nominee I want. So that's what I'm going to do. But instead he tried to play it cool, and maybe it's his age or whatever. But I just feel like it really did him a disservice because he just left it way too open for interpretation.
And see, I felt like when he said it, I understood what he meant. Maybe because I also have the context of
because we
other
watched,
conversations.
we knew,
Yes,
we knew what he meant.
yes. But I felt like it got crazy because of Tucker, but I thought he handled Tucker well. I don't understand, honestly, how Tucker misinterpreted it. And I do think it was a misinterpretation. You guys, some of the points you and Josie have made me think, yeah, it probably was just a misinterpretation for Tucker. Cedric felt like he communicated it well, and it backfired on him. I don't think he had a horrible HOH and it blew up for things because of people like Tucker, but I still think that I like how Cedric handled the whole thing once things did go astray. I like how he brought everybody in. I like how he responded to Tucker. Tucker came off looking like, ooh, people were looking at Tucker after that and not Cedric. It seemed like a lot of the people did side with Cedric inside of the house. They seemed to believe him over Tucker. So I think he made the best out of the situation once it went crazy. He's still with a lot of people. There are people coming for his neck, but those people are, like Isaiah said, are people that are at the bottom. So I am still fine. I think it's idiotic for him to volunteer, but I think he volunteered because he wanted to help get Tucker out. That's it. Like, for some reason, he wants to help get Tucker out of the game. They need somebody to be able to win, and he's putting his neck out there to try to risk it, to try to win against him so that he can get his enemy out. That's kind of ballsy. I still think it's dumb, but it's kind of
Very
ballsy.
dumb. I just think he's leaving his position last week from an HOH that he definitely did not need to win. He would have been fine, I think, last week, no matter who won, by getting way more blood on his hands than he wanted to and intended to. And he's in a way worse position last week than he was the week before, or if he hadn't been HOH. And he made the wrong move in not getting Quinn out, because now we have the potential, like we said earlier, of having 2 weeks of a Quinn HOH. It benefits him because Quinn's not coming for him, but he's still on the block. He ended up on the block anyway. So, like, what are we doing?
All fair.
I have to give Cedric a new one in terms of like volunteering for the block, because anytime anyone volunteers for the block, you hear the same thing from me. You're an idiot. You're on the show. Pawns, go home. You know, you're at risk. You have made your game vulnerable. We have seen that these weeks can get chaotic and anything can switch quickly. And the fact that he put himself on the block after having the week he just had was ridiculously dumb. Now I got that out of the way. I do want to give him props for certain things, right? First of all, he put everyone he wanted to without blood on his hands. MJ being angry at Cedric, even though he full out told her that he was putting her up on the block. Like, she can get mad, but what is MJ gonna do really? She's been mad at Angela, and yet here we are. Like, it's like she can get mad at anything and anyone. She has the right to have her emotions and her feelings, but it's not going to change anything. She'll talk to camera and say, I'm going after them. You said the same thing about Angela, and here we are, week 4, she's HOH. Like, Mackenzie being mad at him is whatever. She's mad at anyone under the sun. I quite frankly do not care that much that he made an enemy out of MJ, who's bottom of our tier list, almost dead in the water for some. Isaiah considered her dead in the water. So, like, okay, if that's the enemy he has, cool. Second of all, after the POV, right? Like, he didn't say, I'm going to put up Quinn. Tucker had the gumption to think that it was his HOH and that he was making the shots. The way he was talking to Cedric was like it was a done deal. No, that's not how HOH works. That's not how POV works. You used your power and you used it on Angela. You didn't even use it on yourself. You're an idiot. I'm sorry. Like, we didn't really talk about it. Like, yes, it made for great TV. Loved it. Who doesn't love a Marcellus moment? But you are an idiot. You should have used the power veto on yourself. You put yourself at risk. Anything could have happened because he could have gone the boot home. So, yeah, Cedric made an enemy out of Tucker, but let's be quite frank, everyone's going after Tucker. So it's like, to have the enemy be the least powerful people in the house and people who have the biggest targets on their back, like, he's somewhat protected to a degree. During his HOH, he solidified his relationship with Chelsea, with Brooklyn, with Quinn. Takor and Kimo will not be winning an HOH. Let's be quite frank. Their best position is to be the middle and unseen. That is how they will win this game. So, yes, he made enemies, but he made the right enemies, I guess. Because even if Tucker wins HOH and Cedric is on the block, Cedric will not go home. Let's be quite frank. If Cedric and Cam are on the block, Chelsea will advocate for Cedric before she will advocate for Cam.
Yes, that is true.
Cedric has more loyalties with the strongest people who can actually make a decision and establish what will happen, who will be evicted before the rest of the bottom tier. And that's why I cannot really move Cedric to too much in his position. Yes, does he have a bigger target on his back? Yes, but that's what happens when you win HOH anyways, regardless. And to be honest, like, it's not really Cedric's doing, it's people assuming, like, whatever. And despite having Tucker come after him, their arguments, Cedric looked great. Like, the house sided him, they babied him, not of his own volition, but they babied him. So it's like, yeah, this week was chaotic, but it had everything to do with Tucker and not necessarily Cedric. Like, if Tucker wasn't a little delusional and things would have happened the way it would, everyone would be celebrating the fact that 1, a power is gone, and 2, Kenny's out. Like, let's be for real. Like, he had a messy HOH, a chaotic one, but he's not that bad of a player in comparison, or he's not in the worst position in the house because his enemies is the number 1 target of the house and the number 2 target in the house. Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so are we keeping him there? Are we?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I will.
I'm fine.
For Cedric. If we're leaving Cam in C tier, he's above Cam.
I think I agree with you, Josie. I think the deciding factor for me is that if Cedric is next to Cam on the block, Cedric is staying.
Yeah.
You with that too, Janelle?
Yep, I'm cool with that.
All right. Next is Mr. Chemo.
We know Isaiah has feelings.
Yeah, speak your truth, Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Chemo is such a bad player. I think he has a lot of potential still, but like, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm so tired of seeing people like Chemo with like actually a mind for the game, just like come in here and then just be like, I have feelings for this person. Let me just throw my whole game away for you. Like I've seen this a couple of times over in Big Brother Canada. Like and we're not dragging nobody because I'm cool with some of these people. You know what I'm saying? Daniel, see, we saw that with him a little bit. We saw that with people like Josh Nash a little bit.
We saw Josh Nash.
Josh Nash. Am I getting it wrong? Oh my god.
Who did Daniel have feelings for?
What's his face?
No. Ty?
No, the other one that quit. What's his name?
Oh, Zach, your favorite player.
He was turning up too, trying to get he was about to get Kuzi and all them out. There was a whole thing. I'm not going to do a Big Brother.
Oh, don't do Daniel like that. That's so
yeah.
That is not worse than William.
Huh?
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah, Will from
Kevin. We're not going to make this a big history lesson, but like, sorry, I have a dog.
BB Can 5, William is a better comparison.
Me
ultimately, I don't like players who like have all the potential in the world to be like great players, and then they just like completely lose their mind. Even outside of Big Brother Canada, I saw that kind of with like Corey Wertenberger a little bit, or just like, bro.
Oh yeah, he definitely.
This
don't even
Corey Wertenberger did that a lot. Tyler Crispin, he's another one who did it. They're just players who like they get caught into the emotional side, and I get it. Like shout out to y'all if y'all find something, but like, this is not that. I like this is really like a one-sided thing, and it's like you throwing Quinn's power out there was insane to me, and watching them that episode. It's saying like I really just trust you more than anyone. Like Chemo, what are you doing, bro? Like that was bad, bro. The show did him dirty, but like he gave him that content to make him look dirty. You feel me? So not a good episode for Chemo whatsoever. With that being said, even though his mind isn't in the game fully, and he wants Rubina out, even though Rubina and him I thought were cool. That's also a misplay. He's still not on anyone's radar. No one's really paying attention to Chemo right now, which is good. But like when it's your time, like, are you ready to tussle? And I don't think he is. You know what I'm saying? If he wins an HOH, I actually think that would be bad for him right now. He needs to spend these next few weeks garnering these relationships, and making good bonds with people so people want to keep him around. Because I'm not seeing him do that outside of with like Quinn, which obviously you saw how that just ended up in Tucker's like no, like this is not it. You feel me? So Takor, we haven't seen much of how Takor feels. Y'all can tell me when we get to the Takor portion of it. But I feel like Takor probably felt some type of way about how that all went last week.
Right.
You feel me? He is not in a good position at all. Y'all gonna fight me over this? We're not gonna do it. I will put him at the bottom of C because I think he actually took a huge decline this week in his position, and I don't see a bright future for him, and I don't really see much win equity. But so maybe I can be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he isn't planning on taking Tucker to the end or whatever, you know? Like maybe he can do something, but he had such a bad week for me, and I was campaigning for him to be the third nominee to go home because I got so tired of chemo. I just had a rant about it. Let me put her downstairs, but y'all continue.
I don't disagree really with you, Isaiah. I think the thing that I like chemo personally, and he's another one where like, yes, I would like to have dinner with him and we probably would get along very well. But I think what threw me with chemo was week 1 when Angela put him on the block. He didn't fight. When then Lisa sat upstairs with him in the bumper pool area and was like, you don't necessarily have my vote. I don't know. And he was just like, okay. He didn't fight. He didn't campaign for himself. And yes, that's week 1. But if you are a fan of the show and you're on the block week 1 and you're not even fighting to save yourself, like it's just what fire do you have to be here? I need you to like, yeah, he won the comp and he ended up staying. But I just feel like, especially he got outed so bad. Tucker did him so dirty and was like, chemo told me exactly what it was. Chemo said this, and this is what I heard from chemo and chemo. And he still is like down bad for chemo. Like, I mean, down bad for Tucker. Like, come on, chemo, we need you to wake up a little bit. You're betraying your allies for this man who's throwing you under the bus, who is not a reliable ally.
I think that chemo has some solid connections in the house. Him and T-Core's relationship took a dip, but it seems to have bounced back like nothing has happened. At least she's acting that way if she doesn't feel that way. They're always talking game. I think those two are nicely positioned in the middle and have the potential to bounce from side to side. I think his guiding light is more so T-Core. I don't like all the decisions that he's made. I think it was goofy to tell Tucker. I don't know if he genuinely would still want to work with Tucker or if he's doing it out of what if this man wins and stays and we still need to have him on our side type of situation. So I'm very middle of the road with him. Like I said, I feel like T-Core is his guiding light here. And that's about it. To me, he's still a C. I truly don't care where he falls in C. Definitely isn't above Tucker, but I like chemo. I think he's awesome. Great personality. I enjoy watching him. I enjoy his conversations. Just game-wise, they're middle of the road for me, and I would love to see what happens when they have to kick it up because I don't feel like they've had to yet. They're still able to be safe in that middle, which is fine. Like, it's not hurting them. They can let all these other big players fight, take each other out, and maybe they can sell to the end, and maybe it might work for him. He's not in a bad spot. He's not in an excellent spot, but this could work for those two.
I think this season we're gonna get a winner who's in the middle. I think that's just how this season's gonna shake up because there's too many chaotic personalities. That means I'm declaring that the people we have in our top 5 positions will probably win this game. You know what? I might even include Cedric. The 6 top people are gonna win this game, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong. We'll roll the tapes when it happens, but the way this season is shaking up, the chaotic people go home immediately. The loud people go home immediately because they cannot contain themselves. They cannot contain the information they receive. Things can change, but that is how I feel at the moment. So when it comes to chemo, I have to defend him just a tiny bit. Yes, his potential is pissing me off that he's just doing whatever over a man. You know, but despite that, if this is his worst week, the fact that he has no consequences, no real consequences, says a lot about the work he's done. at this point in the game. He spent week 1, week 2, and week 3 insulating relationships with the house. And it might not have been a majority alliance, but he did these individual conversations and built strong relationships individually with people in the house, consoling Angela, doing things. A lot of the positive things that we can say about the rest of the house, yes, can be applied to Chemo. The fact that it was revealed that Chemo knew this all along, and people got mad at Quinn, they got mad at Tucker, but not Chemo, is incredible. He said it himself in the show. He was wearing a burgundy t-shirt and he blended in with the walls. It was like poetry, if you think about it, how the visual was accompanying what was actually happening in this game. He has suffered no consequences, and I don't really see that for him. His biggest consequence would have been the loss of the relationship with T-Core, but unfortunately, T-Core needs Chemo just as much as Chemo needs T-Core. They have become dependent players. They cannot play without one another, and so therefore, I can't really fault Chemo. I can't really move him any lower than where he is right now because he is still well insulated. Cedric would go home before Chemo. Cam would go home before Chemo. And he was.
I don't know.
He played a mess game.
I don't think so, Josie.
No,
I think Cedric stays over Chemo.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I would drop Chemo.
Or would keep Chemo.
I'm dropping Chemo literally like, if not bottom C, top of D, personally. Like him and Joseph ain't too far off.
No,
I don't think him and Joseph aren't too far off. I just think like his head is not fully in the game. And honestly, I don't see many people in power caring too much of what happens to Chemo. And I just think if there's like a pecking order, it's just like we're just kind of sitting around twiddling our thumbs waiting until it's like Chemo's turn. Like once all like the nut bags are out the house, Chemo's like right next in the line, bro. Like I just don't see it for Chemo. Again, the easy answer is say like win HOH, but like I really think
I think that would actually be worse for him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what is he supposed to do? Sit around and make bonds, and he's not even doing that. He's just talking about,
are we watching the same feeds?
Doing this? Oh, do you
are we watching the same feeds? You're telling me Chemo has no
like,
relationships? Please be for real.
He has no relationships that is reciprocated the other way with people in power.
Yeah, that I agree with. I do agree with that.
I think Chemo is like more so going to people like, guys, do you think Tucker thinks like that? Like, I thought that he's cool or something, or no, he's not talking. You're supposed to be talking game alliances and all that. I only see him doing that with T-Core, which shaky right now.
I'm doing
it with Rubina, which is kind of like shaky because he's feeling some type of way with her, and then I'm seeing it with like
Leah
and Leah, who like you see where Leah's at now.
A lot.
You guys like
mentally with Joseph.
I don't know. I that's what I'm saying. I put him with Joseph personally. That's what I'm saying. I would put him with
personally.
Joseph.
I think Joseph should move up to bottom C. I don't think he belongs in D with the rest of these people. And I think if he's in C, then he and Chemo were probably close to equal.
The same.
I agree.
No way. I'm like
to Josie specifically.
Okay, why can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why is it like anyways? I'm gonna be real frank with y'all. To me, Joseph can switch with Cam. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm gonna be so for real. So already with that, I can kind of agree. Now, if we're talking about Chemo specifically, like no one is going after Chemo for one.
Right now.
But we're talking. The ranking is about this week. Is it not about this week?
Yeah, but what I just said was once all the nut jobs get out, it is his turn, and I haven't seen him garner any important relationships with people in power, aka Chelsea.
Who does not have a relationship that's in power? Please name it to me.
Well, Josie, he's not in the alliances with them. I mean, I don't know who's in the collective, but like,
and Tukor's in a great position in this.
But she's with Chelsea. I mean, he's not with Chelsea and them like the way T-Core is.
That's why I'm saying Tucore is above, for sure. Tucore is above Chemo.
Like, do you see Chemo?
That's not my argument. My argument is that the two of them have pretty much the same game, except for Tucore is in a better position in the house. So Josie, there's no way that in my mind that Takor is below Cedric and Cam when Chemo and her have the exact same game. But
I don't think they have the exact same game.
Chemo had even more information than her, and that's why she felt betrayed.
Do you see a way that Chemo somehow outplays Chelsea and Brooklyn? And even like some of the other people, I'm
not trying to move Chemo up. I'm trying to leave him as he is. You guys are advocating to move him down. I'm trying to advocate for him to stay. You guys are comparing him to the top players in this house, which
no. But you're saying him and T-Core have the same game, but they don't. T-Core has way better relationships with people in the house. But they're not, though, because his only allies are Rubina and T-Core. No one's putting their neck out on the line for Chemo other than a T-Core and a Rubina. And Rubina's in D, and she's the replacement nom potentially going home. Like, he doesn't have the powerful relationships that T-Core does. So I really don't think that they're even equal in that way. Like, T-Core's close with Chelsea, who's in power. She's better with Brooklyn than Chemo is. Like, she has more meaningful game-based relationships. Absolutely. And he's tied his boat to Tucker, and Tucker is a sinking ship. And it's clear because Tucker outed his ass to everybody in the house.
I think Chemo tied his ship to Core. That's what I'm saying.
But he chose Tucker over T-Core. He chose Tucker over T-Core when he didn't tell T-Core the power. Yeah. So that just shows where his loyalty lies.
I personally would drop him under Cam and move Joseph up.
Let me rephrase. I don't think when I said I was comparing to Core and Chemo, I wasn't saying that they're equal, because if you rewind the tapes, I said she has way better relationships than he does. I've been saying that in our last recap as well, and even week 1 recap. So I agree with you on that front. But if we're being for real, T-Core is in a power position. Chelsea is in a power position. Their right hands, well, Chelsea, I don't know. She's probably the best player in this house. But their right hands are equally probably Chemo and Cedric, like for their respective parties. So for me, it doesn't make sense to move Joseph up and then move him behind Cam. Like, that makes no sense to me. That we're doing that. My argument is to keep Chemo equal to Cedric, not to put him above or below anyone else. Like, there's no way I can put Chemo behind Cam.
Cedric is actually in a power position. Yeah. Chemo's not. I don't.
If Cedric and Chemo are next to each other on the block, who's staying? Cedric.
I think Chemo stays.
I think Cedric
stays.
I think Chemo's out of here.
Tucker would vote out Cedric before he would vote out Chemo, right?
Yeah.
I think Angela, I don't know where she would stand. She's a little bit of a mess.
I think she keeps Cedric.
MJ keeps Chemo. I think Leah keeps Chemo. I think Rubina keeps Chemo, and I think Joseph keeps Chemo, despite the fact that they just made a final 3 in Brooklyn. And
Joseph gives the vibes that he's going to go with the majority alliance.
Yeah, but Joseph just made a final 3 with Takor and Chemo. That's my point. Like, Joseph would keep Chemo over Cedric. Cam would keep Cedric over Cedric over Chemo. Takor would keep Chemo over Cedric. Quinn, I think he would go with whatever the house told him to do. Brooklyn, same thing.
I feel like if Chelsea, Brooklyn, Cedric, and Cam came together, it was like, we're doing this. The rest of the house is doing that. Like, I really do feel that way.
Yeah.
With that 4 of Chelsea, Brooklyn, Cedric, and Cam, whatever they decide to do, everyone else is doing that. Like, and literally, they're not going to take that.
Okay, I'm not thinking
going to get the majority
out there, but like, if we're talking about the people in the house currently, you're talking about people in alliances who are in a power position because they have aligned each other and they've decided to work together. But if we're looking at each individual player, I think there will be a conversation, and I think with the players left in the house, Chemo stays above Cedric over Cedric in a vote with the people in the house. If they're both at risk.
If I'm voting, I'm dropping them to the bottom of C, moving Joseph up. Or
I would put Cedric above him.
Are you Cam? You guys are putting Cam. Oh no. That's
he's in a better position in the game than Chemo to me right now. No, I agree. I don't think Cam is a good player. I just think he's Cedric, a better.
If you guys want to switch Cedric and Chemo together, that's fine. But you're not gonna put Chemo under.
I don't think Chemo should go at the bottom. I don't think Chemo should go at the bottom. But Cedric should be above Chemo.
That's what I'm saying. You can raise Joseph up.
I can rock with that, but I'm not gonna have Chemo.
That's what I'm saying. Raise Joseph up. Raise Joseph up.
I think Joseph needs to go in D too. Bottom of D.
Go ahead, Janelle. What are you saying?
I think it should be Cedric, Chemo, Cam.
Thank you. That I can fight for. You trying to put Chemo behind Cam is what I've been
How you
going
feeling,
against the
Katie?
entire time. That's
I agree with this. I don't think Chemo should be
Go
behind
for it.
Cam. I don't think he should be the bottom, but I think Cedric should be above him. I did it
Now
already.
I'll allow
argument, I
this,
don't
but you guys are
disagree
not
with
going to put Chemo behind Cam. No.
I'm just saying, if it goes longevity wise, I see Cam winning over Chemo right now.
Me
but
too.
We'll see when we get
Yeah,
there.
but we're
I think so
talking
too.
if this rank was about
Like,
who has
If
longevity,
it's like,
then
I'm
the
just
rank would not
saying,
be the same.
Chemo don't got the connections right now, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Man.
he does. He has individual connections.
I don't see it.
Anyway,
yet.
let's move on to the next controversial.
All right. Now we got the top tier, and this is the last four. We're oh my god.
Now you see how we went 3 hours last
How we
time.
got to 3 hours.
Yap session. Okay. All right. Takor.
Is this not a
How do y'all feel
podcast? Are we not supposed to yap?
As we should. No, I'm not complaining. Where are we going with Takor?
Yes.
I have unpopular opinions
I'm
on
exhausted,
Takor,
like,
so I'm
that
just
was-
keeping it to myself.
I need you to
I'm keeping my
understand,
Takor
I'm
opinions
not-
to myself. I'm going with the group because
Okay,
my
let
opinions
me-
are
let me make
unpopular.
this clear.
Go.
Let
No.
me-
I want to hear what Katie's points are. Let me
He
hear it.
hates
I didn't
Takor,
hear it.
Katie, so he's ready for
You're
you.
not. gonna
I know,
put the
he's ready.
content up and then
I'm
not.
not.
let
I
me
didn't say I
say
hate
that.
Takor. What's up?
Please,
gonna
we've
hear
wasted
what
so
you
much
do.
time on these men. Can we move on to the women, please?
I want to hear what Katie
Please.
got to say.
I'm not against Cam. Anyways,
I think Takor is overrated. That's my opinion. I think she's overrated.
Okay.
I think she's
Listen,
talking, but what's she doing? She's doing a lot of talking, but what's she doing? I think Chelsea's her most powerful ally in the game, and without Chelsea, she'd be bottom tier player. That's my opinion.
thank you.
So, but my
I'm
question would
with
be-
Katie.
My
I'm with
question,
Katie.
Katie, would be.
I have my hater hat on this week. I'm sorry.
I'm
That's
with
okay.
Katie.
My question to you would be: you said she's doing a lot of talking, but not anything. What would you like to see her doing that she's not doing? Because I let me just say, I think
Get out of bed.
She's
Get out of bed.
I don't think Takor has taken enough initiative. And if I talk over anyone, I'm so sorry. I don't have my headphones on, so
It's okay.
I have a hard time hearing everyone. But so tell me if I'm doing too much.
You're
But
good.
Takor does not have enough initiative. And listen, that's fine, right? She's not really actively being targeted. But there's players like Takor, right? Where it's like, all right, cool. You have like all the potential in the world. Listen, she ratted out the people who she really needed to be working with a lot early on, and she put her loyalties into two people who obviously don't really care about her like that. But listen, it's all right. Listen, a lot of nonsense happened. The two people who kept the power from her. The two people who kept the power from her, Quinn and
they do care
Kim.
about her. They just didn't share that information.
They
with
didn't
her.
share that.
But he shared it with
You guys
Tucker.
were
That's
maybe
very
sharing
interesting.
information as in, like,
But they
don't
shared it
care
with
about
Tucker. I think that's very interesting. But
Well, that's
all
because
I'm
Kimo has a crush on Tucker. Like, you're comparing apples and oranges and not.
her final two, one of her closest allies kept information from her, right? But you know,
I'm
it's
sorry,
all right.
I'm keeping information from my closest ally. Is that
I'm
does
not.
that make me a bad person? I don't
I'm
know.
not going to yap it to
I
someone
like my
that
number
doesn't
one ally
really know
needs to know
me.
everything under the sun.
If Chemo didn't do what he did, then everything that happened last week wouldn't have happened. But regardless, Takor, she's still in a cool position. She's cool with the people that she's cool with. But I don't think that her most important allies are people who are going to have her best interest when push comes to shove. Well, last week showed me a lot of these people ain't standing on business. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people started ratting each other out right when shit got hot. And it's not looking good. You know what I'm saying? She's still at the bottom of this whole Chelsea Cedric Cam thing. You know what I'm saying? She's honestly still at the bottom of, it seems like, what, Chemo, Joseph, Quinn, or whatever. And she's in a lot of important alliances, but she's not at the top of any of these important alliances. I do think she's a little bit overrated. She's a delight to probably be around. She has a pretty decent social game, but I think that I'm watching like a slow, super slow death of someone's game. Like I'm it feels like I'm looking at a timer and I'm watching the clock slowly tick down until it gets to like her doomsday. Like players like Takor go out between 8 and 6 like crazy. Like
She's going out in a double.
That's what I'm saying. Like she's like guaranteed like sixth placer right now. She needs to switch it up. Like I'm waiting for it. I have faith in her game because actually I think she has a lot of potential. She obviously has the mind and knowledge. She watched a lot of BB Can, but like she compared her game to Paris, which I like to see it. You know what I'm saying? But like she needs to be I'm worried. I guess is what to say. Her game is very reliant on opportunity and timing. So
Yeah.
she needs to strike when it's time to strike, and she really needs a lot of luck as well. I don't think she has a lot of control over where her game is going, but it's all right. I think she still has win equity. I don't think she's terrible. I think she's pretty decent, but I do think she's a little bit overrated. I will say that. I do agree with that.
I think she has good instincts. I think her instincts are good.
Sure.
I think the game talk is good, but she doesn't have the influence right now.
Agreed.
And that's the problem.
But like, to influence to do what exactly? This is my thing. I think that I don't think she's amazing. I don't think she's horrible. I find her to be very middle of the road. And
Same.
I think her position, because somebody said in the comments, she's at the bottom of every alliance, but she's in a lot of them. And I could see the higher powers going for each other and her being able to slip through and play the middle. She's not ruffling feathers. She's not doing anything detrimental to herself. She's just in the middle. To me, that's how I see her. And I don't know what you think, like Katie, I don't know what she should do more of for you to have maybe a little bit more respect for her as a player, because I think that.
Well, I agree with you, Janelle, that she's in the middle. I'm not saying she's bad or that she sucks or that she's going to go. I don't think we need to move her down to D. I just don't think that what's she doing? People on the internet are talking about her like she's like the second coming of Dan Giesling. She's not doing shit right now. I'm sorry. She's laying in bed with the damn robot talking to Chemo and Rubina all day in the bed or in the hammock. Like, that's what she's doing. And like, good for her. Stay in the back. I think that's probably the right move. But like, the hype that T-Core is getting is unwarranted, in my opinion, right now.
When I see T-Core, I think of like a line chart where it's like, boo, sometimes it goes up. There's people are going down. There's people going up. I just see her like going just a straight line that's like,
and she
like
can
it's
make
slowly
her way
until stock market crashes down. Like, that's where I'm seeing.
And I don't disagree with that, Isaiah, but I could see that being the path for her to get to the end.
Right.
If all these,
I guess
if all this craziness is happening around her, and she's able to stay steady, keep her good relationships, these people might not go for her neck, and that could lead her to the end. I agree with you, Katie. I don't think she's some super amazing player. I don't think she's bad, but I think what she is doing, whether too much or not enough, is currently working. It might be boring. It might not be exciting. You might think she's overhyped, but it's working.
I think it's working to keep her in the house.
It doesn't matter why it's working. It's just working.
Right. But what I'm saying is the point of the game is to win. You know what I'm saying? And to get to the end and win, right? I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like I've seen the ceiling of what she can get, and I don't see it going any higher, especially with a lot of these bottom players. But I think she's actually going to need like a lot of these bottom players, to be honest with you. And like the more they go out, like the worse her game is probably going to get. I think that she needs some of these bigger players to get sniped ASAP. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, like I said, she could pull a Paris. It's going to come down to a lot of luck and a lot of timing. But like, I have a hard time seeing an upward trajectory unless very specific things like fights or like call outs or someone. Her game is very reliant on other people making mistakes, if that makes any sense. It's not really anything that it's in her own control. I see her doing very well based off of other people being very bad, if that makes any sense. And that's fine. I'm not going to be dropping her pretty crazy, to be honest. I might keep her where she's at. But I'm just saying.
I agree.
I'm very iffy on her game right now. I need to see something different. That's all.
I'm with
Somebody
you.
said her game is more like Maddie and BB Cannon, not Paris.
I compare her to like an Ozza without the cookout, to be honest with you. That's
I can see that. I can see that.
I think she's a little more game-minded.
I mean, Ozza was telling them to put her on the block to save Brittany, so it ain't too crazy. But
T-Core ain't doing that. Josie, I want to know what you think.
Rosie rant incoming.
No, there's no rant. Let's relax. You know what? I'm getting out of it.
I like your rant.
I have to be the bad guy. So be it. One of us has to be the bad guy, I guess. But I know that
I like your rant, Josie.
Like what? Anyways, I agree with everything that's been said. However, the one thing I disagree with is the fact that like it's like a slow race. Big Brother is a slow race.
Yes,
and a lot of like the arguments that you are putting out right now is that like, well, I don't see her winning right now, but it's like it's week 3. people like Chelsea in my mind, if I was in the house and I'm looking at her who looks like someone who can win already, that puts a target on her, whether she realizes it or not, or whether the rest of the house realizes it or not. Takor is someone who is under the radar and she's going to slip through the cracks. I mean, I'm not comparing her to Andy, but I'm just saying like Andy was good with a lot of people in the house. And, you know, at some point people might argue and saying like he was doing nothing. I mean, there have been deep dives about him. You can agree, disagree, whatever. But I think she's doing what needs to be done in order for her to be safe. Like, in order to win, you need to be in the final 2 chairs. And people get cut at final 3, at final 4, at final 5, 6, 7, whatever, because they are the people who are most likely to win. Chelsea is a person, when we reach jury, I wouldn't be surprised to say, Chelsea's a threat because she's so good at the game. Whereas they're not going to look at Takor that way either. Like, I feel like the arguments that are being made against her are also arguments that can be for her. And that's why she's in B, and that's where she should be, where she is. Like, she can't be strategic mastermind week 1 and then make it to the end. Some of my favorite players were down in the dumps. Dan was down in the dumps. Kevin Jacobs was down in the dumps. Like, let's be for real. Like, even watching Danielle's season right now, like, people were talking about targeting her early on. She was incredible. She's phenomenal. She's amazing. June was also down in the dumps at some point, but she was a floater and she masterminded that. Like, we can't have people. A dominant game from beginning to end. There, that does exist. We have the Dereks and the Codys of the world, but those people, those situations are with the house and everything else. There's so many variables about that. So I think she's doing exactly what she needs to do. And like, I can't really advocate. What are the points to advocate? Make more alliances that can get you in hot water. Win an HOH, she gets blood on her hands, and then we can have a Cedric moment all over again. Like, there's not really anything else she can do but strengthen her.
I mean, there's plenty she could do. I feel like
well, that's what I said. What
perfect to say this. You guys compared her to Andy. I don't see the comparison.
No, I said Andy was well liked and Takor's
okay.
I said
whoever said it, I don't see that comparison whatsoever. The thing that Andy did is actually what Takor should be doing, which is he was making sure that he was not in the forefront of anything, but he was being sure he was like the right hand of the most powerful players, Helen and Amanda. And then slowly, when it was that time to come, like I'm saying to Takor, it's about timing. When it was that time to come for wartime, he made sure to hop ship and jump side to side so everyone could do what they needed to do so he can usurp power, right? I don't see Takor being the right hand or being seen as an important piece to the people running the game. I still see her here. I see her making a lot of alliances with less powerful people, but listen, she can make those alliances with those less powerful people, but she has to have the ability to usurp that power and then take control. From what I've seen, at least, I'm not confident that Takor will have what it needs to take when that time is to come to really strike and then to like grab a group of people and be like, this is what we're doing and all that. Like, I just don't see it yet. She seems like a very solo player with a lot of bonds, one-on-one bonds, and that's cool. Don't get it mistaken. I actually think this week was like a down week for Takor because like a lot of her key groups, specifically with like Chemo and Quinn, like did a lot of BS, and like that's not good for her because these are the people who she needs to be working with. She needs her allies to also be in good positions, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? I can see a lot of things happening. This, like I said, her game is very reliant on other people making mistakes. So I'm not. Notice I haven't said drop Takor to see or anything. I actually think she should stay right where she is. But I just feel like unless I see something that can signal to me that she can take initiative later on, I don't know. I don't think she's really garnering really important relationships with the people she should be garnering them with.
I'm with you 100%.
That's how I feel.
I don't know. Everybody's arguing, but like Isaiah, I agree with you 1,000%. We're not advocating to move her down. I just think we need to see more from her. And I think, her most important relationship in the house right now is with Chelsea. And if something happens to that relationship, I think she's pretty much cemented to be done for. Like, I don't think she can socially climb back from that if she didn't have Chelsea. That's where I think she is a step above. But I think she's fine where she is. I don't think we need to
really all saying the same thing.
We are.
We're saying she's overrated. You guys are saying she has a chance to win. That's literally it. We're
Yeah.
all saying the
No,
same.
it's not even that for
that.
me personally, because it's not even about, I don't think we're talking about moving her. I think we're just discussing her,
I'm not.
which is absolutely normal. But I think, Isaiah, your point about like you can't see her in this position, it's rough for me to say I can see anyone in any position in the future 100% because this house flips on a dime. If you would have told me last week that Tucker would have used the power veto of Angela, I would have said you're delusional as hell. But everything happens in the house for a reason. So that's why for me, while we're talking about the future, it's hard for me because I think she has roads that she can choose. And the road that you're talking about is very feasible, but there could be another road. There could be another situation. Everything flips on a dime. So it's hard for me to like 100% be like, I agree with you, Isaiah, because we're talking about a future that we're not entirely sure because this house is absolutely chaotic. Like if we had like normal standard like regular people. I don't know if that sounds bad to say if we had regular people, less chaotic people in the house. I feel like it would be much more easy to predict where this game would go. Like last season was so easy to predict because hello, it was like the comps were predictable. So that means the results of who would be in power predictable. And like, like there was nothing changing that. I think we're not in a position to be 100% talking about the future, which is why I like the way we're ranking them based off this week
Right now. Right.
But you made excellent points for sure, but it's just hard for me to agree when this house is insane.
Yeah, I don't see her as dead in the water. I don't think that in the future she doesn't have the ability to strike, or I think she has great relationships with people with potential both sides. Tucker's side and that little crew, she can hop over there easily, and the same right back with Chelsea's crew. I think that she's in it. I was just trying to gain an understanding for what she's not doing that you guys believe that she should be doing, because I'm very much in agreement with Josie that she's doing what she needs to do right now to keep her where she's at right now. And it's only week 3. We're not that deep into the game. And I just foresee a lot of the bigger people going against each other and her being able to slip through. And that is a strategy. And I think that's something she could, for how she is right now, easily pull off. I was just curious as to what you guys wanted to see different.
Someone think my takes are wild. Welcome. I don't know. Next you won't. It is what it is. My takes aren't that wild. I just said that.
No, they're not. Don't come for my girl.
It's okay. Just because we don't have the same takes doesn't mean my takes are wild. But I appreciate the recognition.
Just let y'all welcome new people. We all crack, bro.
Hey,
and we love each other at the end of the day. Sometimes we don't agree, but we love each other.
We do.
Now we like rarely all agree.
Now you want to talk about crack? Let's get to Quinn. Yeah.
I know. I didn't want to waste too much energy on T-Court, just like she's not wasting the house, because I needed to save it all for this man.
Katie, go crazy.
Please go, Katie.
So much of me wants to move this man down to dead in the water, but for some reason he's not, and I just don't understand why he's even still in the house. I think he's ruined the game for me personally. I think he's getting a lot of hate on the internet, and let me just say, I think it's warranted. I went in on him last week. I'm not going to go fully in on him again this week because I made my points very clear, but the fact that this man keeps name dropping RHAP, keeps name dropping his deep dive, keeps name dropping Corey in America is the hands down most embarrassing shit I have ever seen on the Big Brother live feeds. The pandering, it's embarrassing, it's cringe. Be yourself, play the game. You're not going to be a legend just because you're talking about RHAP and whatever. Play the game and make a legend of yourself. Don't play the game to be a legend to podcasters. Like, who gives an actual shit? Who gives a shit? You're a loser. You're a loser.
Is that he's not the game?
My problem with him, Janelle, is that he's a loser. He's a loser. I went in on his game last week, and my feelings are the same as what I said last week about his game. He's a mess. He's a complete mess. Somehow, everybody else in this house is dumb. Other than, I mean, Tucker's dumb too, but he's the only one that's doing the right thing by trying to go for Quinn. That's it. He's dumb and he sucks. Also, Leah is not going to be your America. You're not going to be the second coming of Corey in America. Let it go. You're embarrassing. Stop trying.
My opinion of Quinn.
No, Kevin
really
Jacobs.
Have a strong one last week. I don't feel like, but it has. The more I watch him, the more I watch his one-on-ones and the way in which he communicates expresses himself. I think he's a trash player. I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna be around for too much longer. Honestly, I understand why his allies kept him. It was like they had an automatic week of safety. That's how I feel. That's why I feel he stayed, is because of that power and nothing else. But yeah, I'm not big on Quinn anymore. I don't like how he plays. I don't think he has a lot of longevity. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just not feeling him that much.
Quinn is lucky he is in the house with the people he is in.
Yep. Yep.
The Big Brother format of hiring these dumb archetypes every season allows for people who are a part of Quinn's archetype to act the way they do. A mess. If you put Quinn in a Big Brother Canada house and he acts this way, it's not gonna work. He's not staying that long. Like let's be for real. He just so happens to be in a house with half of them being recruits, and the people who could go against him truly and do some damage are his allies. He's well aligned, and that's what it is. Tucker's arguments against Quinn make absolutely so much sense. But his ally is Cedric. Cedric said it from the jump. We know who Cedric is. Loyal. Cedric and Kim,
Boring.
Similar archetypes. Loyal to the soil, are not going to betray, honesty, blah, 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 whatever. So he's aligned himself with people who are not going to betray him, despite the fact that they absolutely should, because he did not tell them about the power. How is it? Cam, Cedric, Chelsea should all looked at each other and said, we in this Pentagon Alliance, why didn't he tell us about the power? Why is Chemo know? Why does Tucker know before I know? Quinn should have not said anything about his power to nobody. And now he's walking around the house acting like his shit don't stink. It stinks. It's like spoiled milk on a hot summer day that's been outside for 100 days from the Big Brother house. His shit stinks, period. He's not playing a good game. He's playing a messy game. It's a messy game. But unfortunately, this house is messy. This house can allow the room for his arrogance and his cockiness. And it's not warranted at all. Because what has Quinn done? Let's be for real.
Nothing.
The one person who should have left the house, his biggest target, is Angela. He said it himself. And Angela is still in the house. In fact, he can't even put her on the block because she's HOH. What has Quinn done and he's talking about deep dives on week 3. What have you done to talk about deep dives on the live feeds? Please, someone enlighten me. You know what? One thing about me, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I can admit it. If someone can enlighten me as to why Quinn is such a good player, I am open to reception. I am pro good players, but he is not. He told his power, one of the craziest powers,
the most powerful power in Big Brother history.
He went and told Chemo, he told Angela on like day 3, he barely knew her, and it ended up blowing up in his face because what did Angela do? If anything, Quinn solidified an allegiance from Angela's part to Tucker. Crazy. Quinn has done nothing for his game. He surrounded himself with loyal archetypes, and that's the only reason he's safe. Any other season, this man is on the block and he's evicted. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm all about the super fan. Trust me. If there's one thing, you can roll the types. You can look at my history. I back up super fans because I love fans who advocate and who want to be on the show and who fight for it. But it's just like, when you come in and you have this arrogance and this cockiness based off delusions, it gets annoying to watch.
He's an AmeriCorey stan who thinks he's Corey in the AmeriCorey. He's not. And listen, we talked about it at length last season, but Corey's not that good, you guys. He just likes the show. He was a fan. Quinn's a fan. Quinn's a stan, an AmeriCorey stan. Well, that's great, but like that doesn't mean you are Corey. That doesn't mean you have to like pander to Corey. He's talking about America, following him back on Instagram, on the feeds. Like he's obsessed. It's getting weird. It's weird. And like the fact that you are such a fan, supposedly, and you spilled about the most powerful power in history and didn't use it somehow to your advantage. He's not leaving this week in a better position. He's not getting out threats to his game. Maybe Tucker, maybe, but like, who cares? At the end of the day, Tucker's not winning the game. Like, you should be using this power to your advantage. He's a mess. I just like, what is the game that he's playing? What's the game?
It came to me. He is comparable to season 5 Big Brother Canada Netta, and has a power for 4 weeks. The moment that power is gone, he will be leaving as well. Like someone put the clip of what's his name? Oh my god, why am I blanking on it? Saying that you're only safe for like an hour. That's what Quinn gives me. It came to me. The delusions of grandeur, very much that. Yeah.
Javier asked who he should target if not Tucker. And like, I think he put himself in a position where he has to target Tucker because he ran his mouth. If he didn't say anything and kept this power to himself, he could have broken up the Pentagon. He's so connected to everybody because he made an alliance with everybody. He knows who's working with who. He could have gotten Chelsea out. He could have gotten Brooklyn out. He could have gotten these players that actually have influence out. But instead he has to go for unhinged Tucker because Tucker is relentlessly coming for him now. Like he painted himself in a corner by running his mouth when he really could have used it to up his position of power in the game. And instead he's just like taking out the trash.
Yeah,
I think Quinn's bad
on that because I was with Javier on that, but yeah, you're perfectly right. He has to go after Tucker because
he has to.
If he wouldn't have kept his mouth shut, he would be perfectly fine because he has mentioned that he has realized that Chelsea is the power player in this game. So he's watching her, and I need him to fail badly. So yeah, you're right on
he
that.
will.
That's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point, Katie.
I feel like Quinn is just like Takor, just kind of like I feel like he hit his ceiling very early, and it's unfortunate because I feel like Quinn actually was in a position where like
no, Quinn has sucked since day one. Isaiah,
I disagree. I feel like
he's been bad since day one.
Listen, I feel like Quinn
Week
was in a
one, he spilled his power to Angela. He didn't even know this woman. He didn't even know this woman.
Day 2, Katie.
Day two.
Oh, let me finish. I think Quinn had the potential to do things. High key, I'm gonna highlight the word again. Potential to do crazy things. Everyone was trusting him, including him in every single alliance in the game he was in. He had all the information in the house, and he had all the knowledge of what everything was going on. Like that, you can't cap. He was in a controlling position. Even when he told Angela this stuff, as long as he didn't do any slimy stuff by snitching on Angela to Takor, I don't think he should have did that. He would have been perfectly fine. He could have been, honestly, he could have been gaslighting Angela and Takor to fight each other. That would have been beautiful. But he didn't. He snitched, and that's the problem. Quinn has a big mouth, and it's coming back to bottom. Now, regardless, still in a good position because Chelsea and Brooklyn vibe with him. That's what I've been saying. All these people need to do. As long as you are in the position where the people in power who are running the game are good with you, you're good. Quinn's not going anywhere anytime soon. I hate to say it. But with that being said, we are watching a slow decline of this player because he has showed his cards too early, and it's over, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah. Like, he's not going to go this week. He might not go next week, but he's going to go eventually. And that's the bad part. Because at the back of everyone's mind, he has Cedric pissed off, and you don't. That's the point. That like, boom. Okay, so as long as Cedric, the moment we put Cedric on the block, it was over. All right, like the game is done for Quinn. It's not about when he goes; it's about how he goes. He's going to go at some point. It's guaranteed. We just don't know when. But no one can cap. He had the potential to do some crazy things because as annoying and loserish or whatever you want to call him, he was running the game for the first few weeks.
I don't think he was running it. I think he had the potential, and he completely squandered. He was not, but he had the potential.
He was
connected, and he could have ran it. He could have ran it, but he squandered the potential.
Listen, he had Takor snitching stuff to them. He had all the information on the other side. Like he was running the house.
No, Chelsea's running the house.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be. Let me make a fact. Quinn had the potential to run the house.
I would drop him, by the way.
And single-handedly win this game. He had the potential, and he did huge, like he did a few detrimental, crazy moves to put him in this position. Like, if you think about it, Isaiah, you're absolutely right. He was in every alliance. Why did he tell Angela about his power week 2 when he was not at risk?
Day 2.
Like he had the potential to run this game, and he's making moves that make no sense. I want to make it clear. I want to address this comment real quick. I don't like Tucker. I said this before we streamed. I didn't draft nobody, so everyone can catch it. I have no favorites. I just have people I dislike, and that's it. And Quinn's catching it. Tucker caught it earlier. It is what it is. Quinn did detrimental work to his game, and the fact that he's hyping himself over a deep dive is insane. Like, it's insane. Like, his delusions, of grandeur, yeah, he can catch it. Like, he single-handedly ruined his game. Like, there's no way to win.
Also, let us not forget that after this veto situation, after Cedric didn't put him up on the block, he ratted out the Pentagon to Joseph. Why?
Yeah.
Cedric had you. Cedric had you. He didn't put you on the block. You very easily could have. Yes.
Like,
I want him out. I want him done. Put him in F tier to me.
I'm putting him in C. I'm like, that's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think
I'm putting him in C.
Yeah, Quinn has done everything. I have not seen Quinn do one smart move yet.
No, he's done the opposite of everything that he should do, and just somehow it's working out.
He's under.
Yeah, I'll put him under Cedric. That's fine. I would love to bring him lower, but I just think he's in a too decent somehow of a position by no fault of his own because he sucks.
His work in week 1 has granted him the leverage that he has now.
The Quinn chemo to core trio is terrible. I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
What?
I got jumped for saying this on Twitter a couple weeks ago, but the Takor Quinn chemo trio is god awful. Like I still feel that way, and I
know you got a lot of hate
for me, bro. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Mhm.
Because I was just like, this is not going to work. And guess what? Like, listen,
Javier, you wanted Quinn to stay there? Come on, let's be real.
I know, Javier.
You agreed with me in the Slack. Come on now.
If Quinn has one fan, it's Javier.
Javier.
Okay.
If Quinn has no fans, Javier.
Go ahead. Brooklyn.
Yep.
Brooklyn's playing the best game.
Nope.
And I feel that way. She's the best player in the house. But continue. That's what I'm saying.
So we're delusional. You think she has a better game over Chelsea? You got me.
I blame Brooklyn for this boring week.
Why?
You blame Brooklyn for this week?
Yeah, I blame Brooklyn for this boring week because she got scared to go on the block. So she's like, we're not voting on America's guest, right? We're America's veto. And that's why Quinn's still here. Because she was scared and we could have gotten Quinn's ass out, but she got too scared.
Quinn saying is good for Brooklyn.
You cannot blame her for self-preservation.
Okay.
I blame her. I blame her selfishly because I wanted Quinn's ass out of here.
Brooklyn is playing the best game in the house. We continue.
No.
I mean,
No.
Second
the
best.
Agree.
only way I could possibly look at Isaiah's odd perception is if he said he's giving it to Brooklyn over Chelsea because Brooklyn is less in the forefront than Chelsea. That's the only thing she has over Chelsea to me. More people are going to look at Brooklyn than her right-hand man or woman. You know what I mean? If somebody's going to go after somebody, it's not going to be Brooklyn. It will be Chelsea. And if those two are against each other, that's the only thing. Like, Brooklyn is her right-hand man. They're talking to each other about everything. Brooklyn spilled that the alliance with Tucker and T-Core and Rubina straight to Brooklyn. Like, I think she's playing a great game. She's safe. She's in the middle. People have her back. Nobody's really looking at to target her. And she is not going to be at the forefront of things like Chelsea. Chelsea is going to be the face, and Brooklyn can hide behind her. So if anything, that's what could possibly edge Brooklyn a little higher, but that's it.
There's also this that Moses says in the chat that Brooklyn's so mad at Angela. Like, Angela was up there, 4 or 5 times? Yeah. And she really got mad at Angela for winning and putting her back to back. Like, Angela was fighting for her life.
I don't think
those are the types of things I think can rub people a little bit the wrong way and just make the wrong enemy that wins once. I think Chelsea's just in a better spot. Brooklyn's good. I think Chelsea's just in a better spot.
I think Chelsea's always going to have the stink of a cookout behind her, as well as one person to go around and be like, "Hey, Cam, guess what Chelsea's been saying?" And then she's in trouble. But
Cam's not doing shit.
But there you go.
Cam gonna do?
What's Cam gonna do?
I think Brooklyn. I do think Brooklyn though, right now is the only solo player that is playing a successful game. For some reason, Chelsea, Cedric, and Cam keep including her in all the important conversations, and she right now is also in, I would say, probably better standing with a lot of the other house. The thing that's helping Brooklyn outside of like maybe Tucker, and Tucker just talks, so who cares, is that everybody, in my opinion, knows that Chelsea's a good player. And right now, I feel like Brooklyn is being underestimated because nobody's talking about it. And I think Chelsea is going to be very dominant this early on, and that's fine. But when we get to that jury point, there's going to be opportunists to take a shot. We already saw Takor talking about Cam and Chelsea are dangerous in this game, and those are people that need to be taken care of before we get to certain points of this phase. Takor, like I said, is going to be a timely player, and I'm not going to counter out for anything. But I really feel like everyone is aware of what she's capable of, and when push comes to shove, she's going to really need to like either win comps or her allies are going to have to come and back her up because it's going to get very tough at the end. Right now, players like Chelsea always do good in the early phase because everybody wants to go behind the person that's running the game. That's nice. This is a Tiffany Mitchell right here. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what I compared her to last week.
That's what I'm saying. But
well,
same thing
Chelsea
Tiffany,
though, I compared to.
Sniped. You're going to get sniped at some point if it's not in your best interest. When you play hard at the beginning, you're going to have to play even harder in the second half. Where instead of Brooklyn, she can kind of fade in the back. She's playing hard, but people don't really know. And then she's going to be able to kind of play at pace later on. I'm just saying it's going to be a very hard game for Chelsea later on. But I'm not saying she can't do it, but it's going to be hard. That's all I'm saying. But,
Brooklyn got called out this week. You're saying that Brooklyn can fade in. Let me.
Where are you at?
Can I speak? Okay.
Yeah.
So Brooklyn, Kenny had a conversation with Tucker, Cedric, and someone else about how she can potentially be the leaders of the Women's Alliance. Kenny was targeting her. They got in a heated spat in front of the entire house. Let's not forget this. In front of the entire house. She is in the forefront of people's mind, right? Whether you agree or not, she became at the forefront of people's mind. Her and Tucker also had a conversation about how she's in the best position of the house. So she's not hidden. She's not isolated. If she was doing everything you said, I'd be like, she is the best, but that's not the case. Her name is on people's minds and on people's lips. She's in the same position as Chelsea. The only difference is if Chelsea and Brooklyn got into it, people want to align themselves more with Chelsea than they do Brooklyn. MJ, we've dragged these people, but I'm just naming them. MJ and Leah have wanted to work with Chelsea and Brooklyn, but Chelsea primarily since week one. 2, Chelsea has been in the same amount of alliances as Brooklyn. If Takor had to pick between Brooklyn and Chelsea, I think she's picking Chelsea, despite her not being in a power position. I'm just saying, like, if all hell broke loose between Chelsea and Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn's out of there. Like, if we're talking about if it were to happen in week 4, I think Brooklyn is in a great position in this game. I think a lot of the points you made for her are valid. But I think her number one ally in the beginning was Rubina, and she put her to the side with Chelsea. And I still think Rubina has Brooklyn's back for sure. But I just feel like between the two of them, yes, Chelsea won an HOH, but they're not that different. Like, I think Chelsea has stronger relationships than Brooklyn overall, and that's why we put her above. But to say that Chelsea is the only one in the forefront would be incorrect, and that's why I can't back that 100%.
Don't get it twisted. Notice I didn't say that move Brooklyn to the top. I don't think she should be moved to the top.
No, I agree, but you said she's playing the best game in the whole house.
I do think she's playing the best game, but as of right now, Chelsea's still like the top of the list because I think position wise, she's in a very dominant position. I'm just saying later on, it's going to be very hard for Chelsea, where I don't think it's going to be as hard for Brooklyn. Like, she had a fight with Kenny, big whoop. Kenny's out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the problem.
But the seeds were planted.
It's not just Kenny. Like, Kenny is gone, yes, but like Tucker feels that way as well. Yes, Tucker is at the bottom of the tier, but conversations happen, seeds are planted.
But you can also say Takor has
more seeds about Chelsea and about Brooklyn at this point.
But we can also say Takor, who's like right behind both of them, had conversations about Chelsea as well, and we could say the same exact thing. Those seeds have been planted with her.
Yes, and that's why I said the only reason why I believe Chelsea is above Brooklyn is because Chelsea's relationships with the majority of the house are stronger than
I'm with y'all. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. Chelsea is literally at the top. I'm just saying I personally feel like Brooklyn's playing a better game. But no, like I said, Chelsea is at the top of the list. She's in the most dominant, best position right now. She's going to have a hard time later on. For me, but I'm not saying move or raise. Keep it the same.
Let me add, when I said the only way I could see Isaiah's argument is if I would argue that Brooklyn is not at the forefront. I would leave her right where she is. I'm still giving I was just playing devil's advocate. I'm still giving Chelsea best game. The only little bit of leg up is I think that Brooklyn is just not as in the forefront as a Chelsea. I feel like Chelsea is looked at as number one as Chelsea. I just think that Brooklyn is not as in the forefront as Chelsea would be. That's all.
Can I ask a question? Is she in the forefront because we have knowledge of the entire game, or is she really in the forefront of these house guest mind in comparison to Brooklyn? Because I'm just trying to see like who is really talking about Chelsea that way, that's in a negative way in comparison to Brooklyn. Because what do you mean in the forefront? Like the forefront of what? She's in the forefront for us because we know the tea, like we know that she's running the game. But like,
I think when I say forefront, I just mean as a top dog in the game that other players look at and respect and think that she is a power player. Other players have that. I would think my perception is that other players would have that perception of Chelsea more so than they would of Brooklyn. If they want to get something done, I would see them approaching Chelsea before Brooklyn.
mm-hmm.
That's just my perception. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
That's just devil's advocate there. That's how I feel about her game.
Well, yes. So the question is, do we leave Brooklyn in B tier, or do you guys want to put her in A tier? I would put her in A tier.
I would potentially move Chelsea and Brooklyn up to A tier and leave them in the same order.
Absolutely.
I'll do that for both of them. I think they're both running the game. I just think that Chelsea's more upfront about it and Brooklyn's more behind the scenes about it. But I'm shocked they haven't made a final two yet. They honestly should. Like, I think they would be
they should, but I could see it not working. I think they're going to have to turn on each other at some point.
Yeah. But they could be like a Derek Cody.
They definitely do. They could.
They could easily pull off Derek Cody if they really wanted to. But like, I don't see it happening.
You guys think that Chelsea would be more loyal to Cedric or Brooke? I can't tell, honestly.
Cedric.
You do?
I think Cedric. Yeah.
She's way more loyal to Cedric and Cam than Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I think Cam. So. I don't think she's.
And I think T-Core. I think she's more loyal to T-Core than she is to
Brooklyn. It's the Black Solidarity thing. Mm-hmm. Black Solidarity thing.
I think that she would boot a Cam over a Brooklyn because I feel like Brooklyn is more of a loyal ally to her, or more of a useful ally than Cam.
Cedric is her soldier.
Yeah. Correct.
Cedric is executing for her. Correct. She's the mastermind. He's the soldier.
Brooklyn would cut Chelsea, but Cedric would never cut Chelsea.
Nope. He would never.
That too, Josie.
Because Brooklyn came to play. Let's be for real. If there's
she knows the game.
Who came to play, who knows the game, and who hasn't been so meta about the game, it's Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn knows bringing Chelsea to the end would be
detriment.
Yeah, maybe she would.
The only black person I've seen voting against another black person is Takor. I don't see Cedric, Cam, or Chelsea doing it. I'm being real with y'all.
I feel like Moses in the chat.
Say it again, Jill.
Do you guys not think that she would boot Cam over so many other people?
No.
I do.
I think
Chelsea.
She keeps Cedric over Cam. I think she keeps Brooke over Cam. I think she keeps Takor over Cam. I think that she would boot so many people over Cam, specifically Cam, but only Cam.
I feel like if they're not black,
annoyed by his life. She's annoyed by everything. They argue over such petty, little, ridiculous things. That's why I feel like she has.
So did the cookout.
So did the cookout. So did Taylor Monty. So did the Taylor Monty.
Yeah, but you could put things like that to the side for the game. You know what I mean? Like the pity. I don't know.
The thing is, I think it's like a brother-sister relationship. Mm-hmm. I think it's like they bicker like siblings. They're not, and when I talk about siblings, I'm not talking about MJ, please. I'm just saying, like, I think it's like a brother-sister thing, and like he really irritates her, but it's not on a game front too much. I think when she spoke to Cam about Leah, it was to protect him and not like she was annoyed, obviously, but I think she was annoyed that she had to go out of her way to do that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to go against him. I think she recognizes. I mean, we might as well start talking about Chelsea, but I think she recognizes the game and the people who will have her back and won't do her dirty. She's self-aware enough, and despite them being annoying, despite them trying to be in showmances, she knows at the end of the day that she is home and she's running the game and that she can run their games. Chelsea would never think that she would run Brooklyn's game, but she definitely could think that she's running Cam's.
Again, I only think the only person that's black that would vote against each other is Takora. I think she's the only one that would vote against the other two. But I think I
if
think
they're up next to each other,
they don't have a choice.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
No
regardless,
choice,
I think that core three, I don't see them turning on each other at all, personally. Unless like something crazy happens or someone does some like snitches or does something really stupid. As long as everyone holds it down and stays loyal, I don't see them turning on each other for anyone outside that three. So
I think so too. I think overall this is the week where things really start to get more solid. Typically week 4, I feel like that's really, the first few weeks it's just like, week 3 is typically a little crazy and unhinged, but like week 4, I feel like that's when things start getting like a little bit more real. And I just feel like things, the way that they're going this week with Cedric, with Quinn having the power and, really running the nominations, like they're going to stay loyal to each other. And then I just feel like it's going to continue.
Oh God.
All right.
Well,
all right. And I don't have much else to say about Chelsea that I didn't.
No, I feel like we talked about both of them together.
But she's running it. We'll see what happens.
I just hope she can maintain it. I don't know. We're gonna see. We see these power people early on that are respected and talked about go out because they're a threat. But I just hope she can maintain it. I'd love to see one of the A or B, maybe 1 or 2 and C win, but I hope she can maintain it. Come on.
Which 1 or 2 and C, Janelle?
I wouldn't mind like a Cedric or
okay. All right. I can get behind that.
Quinn,
okay, good. Okay, good.
Chemo's I gotta see more from Chemo a lot.
Yeah.
More. I think that the people who would go after Chelsea are the people who have knowledge of the game, like actual knowledge. So that would be Quinn, Joseph, and Tucker. I don't think that Joseph will ever get social capital to take out Chelsea from his own power stance. I think Quinn is too much of a target that I don't think he'll even get the chance to be quite frank. And then Tucker, we could have put him in dead in the water. We didn't. So I don't think he'll really get the chance to, and I don't think he's looking that way for now. So I just feel like she really does have, she's in the best position to win if she keeps carrying Cedric and Cam.
I think so too. And I think if you think about Tiffany, ultimately her downfall was Kyland and his ego. Well, yeah, staying loyal to the cookout, because some of those men, specifically Kyland, had a really big ego and he wanted to go against the best and he didn't consider Tiffany one of the best. Right. Okay. Xavier, I think he did what he needed to do to win. I think it was more Kyland in this instance that was Tiffany's downfall. I think right now, as far as we see, the only one with a really big ego, and 2 people with big egos in this house, are Quinn and Tucker, and she's not loyal to either one of those people. So I think Cedric is more like an Azza in this situation, who's going to stay loyal and not go against, the main crew. What do they have a name? CCC? Is that just what they're called?
The core.
The core.
CCC.
The core. Yeah, I just think, and Cam doesn't have the game mind for the game, so I just don't think it's going to happen.
I hope you guys are right. I love what you guys are saying. That's excellent points, and I hope y'all are right. I would love to.
We'll see.
It ultimately depends on who wins HOH. Unfortunately, that's how the game will dictate.
Yeah, they have to keep winning, of course. Yeah.
So no more throwing HOHs, I beg.
No more volunteering for the block. I beg.
I beg. Yeah, let's stop doing those 2 things.
But for now, that's our list. Tucker at the bottom, Chelsea at the top. Everyone avoids dead in the water. That's how we roll today.
People are staying afloat this week.
But yeah, that's our podcast for today. Everybody,
I'll never let go.
enjoying everything you're hearing, listening, watching, whatever, in live or the future. Thanks for hanging out. If you like what you hear, like and comment, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Show your mom, show your best friend, show your dog. If you're listening, like it with 5 stars only. All right, cool. All right, lastly,
Isaiah's over it.
Like, bye.
merch coming soon. All right, cool. All right, Katie, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at RealSomeKatie. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/RealSomeKatie with an underscore at the end. And you can find me here, Talking Big Brother, Monday and Friday.
All right, Josie.
You guys can follow me on also. I don't know if y'all want to follow me after this episode. I don't know. It's my first time being polarizing. Everyone usually, I feel like me and Isaiah switch spots this week. He's usually the polarizing one. I don't know.
It's true.
If you do want to follow me, you can at Josanne XNM, JOSINEXNM. I tweet, I podcast here, and I vibe, and I cause chaos, I guess. Maybe I am Team Chaos.
Josie, your rants are top tier. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You and Katie, I love them. Okay, you can follow me everywhere. I'm Janelle Michaud. I'm on Twitter tweeting about the show. And I'll be here with you guys. And I'll be talking to Kenny on Monday morning, unless I can convince one of these two ladies to take the bullet.
You know, you should just start the interview and then just be like, actually, I want to quit. And then just hang up.
I need you to
Actually, I don't want to do it. I decided I don't want to interview anymore. I'm just going to quit. And then leave.
To ask him what his strategy will be when he gets a call again to come back for Big Brother.
No.
Like,
I literally said yesterday to my partner that he's going to get called for All Stars.
Listen.
And next All Stars, he's getting the call. And it's so clear.
Man, so why can't he? Listen.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm so serious. I'm so serious. In the most serious tone possible. He's
getting a call.
How do you feel? Would you like? What will your strategy? What is your strategy going to be when you get a call for another season of Big Brother? I just want to
say no.
He's going. He's going. He's gonna be like, I would go. I'll be in a different place in my life.
No, I'm not gonna have nothing. And she could be like, "Hi, Kenny. So nice to meet you." No, you need to be like, "You suck." Like that's what you gotta be like, bro. Okay?
I can't do that. I don't have that in my soul, you guys.
No, you cool. Josie will do it. No, I'm playing. All right.
Y'all act like I won't. I'm Canadian. I'll say whatever I want. I know I'm never gonna see this man.
Just be chill. Lastly, you can find me at 8 Ball Bangers everywhere. If you're watching Survivor Philadelphia, fire coverage from a bunch of podcasts this year. It's been great. But continue on over here. Me and Rawan, we're doing exit interviews and just like little recaps. And Mark and Davey are doing them on Mondays as well. So it's been a great, phenomenal season. Make sure you check them out. And you can find me at 8 Ball Bangers everywhere, just yapping. And I don't really like tweet controversial things anymore. I have a burner now, so we're good. But make sure you hang out with us next time on Monday. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.